Yeah, Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So this video is going to be about the chess moves that we got going on in these final times, man. These chess moves, because right now, like I said some time back, it's really all about results. Who you are now, meaning you can't not working for something. Who you already are. Who are you already? Not who you trying to work to be, because it's almost over. So the results are in. So there's more. The real, not games, but the real observations is who's done what. The numbers, real numbers, what people really done. And when we measure what is most important, all that street stuff ain't gonna add up. Now we going to higher levels of, okay, did you beat the white man in your lifetime? Did you beat the racist white people? How you beat them? What did you do in the world, in other countries? What exactly did you do? Besides be here in America. Besides be here in America, what did you do? Because see, now the world is so okie doke and Mickey Mouse, everything is so fake outside. I mean, do we trust anybody's numbers? Maybe they paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they paid for it. Maybe they paid to look cool on the block. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they paid to post up. I'm dead serious. They got extorted and they paid. They got extorted, huh? They got extorted. That's why they out there. They had, here it is. They had to check in. They had to check in. That's how they got, that's how they got out there. They had to check in. Me and you ain't checking in with nobody. Bro, I ain't checking. I'm a grown man. I ain't checking in with nobody. So listen, that's the first thing I tell you. I'm a black man. I ain't checking in with nobody. Ain't no real black man gonna challenge that. I said, man, bro, I'm black. I ain't checking in with nobody. I go anywhere I want to go. I go anywhere I want to go. I'm black. Try them suckers with that. I go anywhere I want to go. I'm black. What a black man can't say none of that. If I tell you I'm black, I go anywhere I want to go. I ain't checking in with nobody. I guarantee you ain't gonna say nothing. I guarantee you gonna treat me differently than everybody else. You might not, you don't want nobody else to know how you treated me. How you let me do what I want to do, but you ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't checking in with nobody. I'm black. And guess what? Me and you ain't got to get along for me to be black. Oh, you thought me and you had to get along for me to be black? Me and you got to get along for me to be black. Well, my thing is always this. If you can take the black experience, you can take my blackness. Can you take my black experience? How I get mistreated by America, no matter if me and you get along or not. Can you take my black experience? You can't, can you? You can't take my black experience, can you? So you can't take my blackness. Because as long as I'm mistreated and treated as a black man in America, you can't take my blackness. Now, if you can take my black experience, go ahead, take the whole thing. Well, I don't get perceived as black. I don't get treated like I'm black. I don't get mistreated because I'm black. Now, when you take that, you can take my blackness. Until then, buddy, listen, I'm black because I get treated, I have a black experience. I get treated like I'm black. See, that's how you tell people. Because these new generations are try to act like, if they don't rock with us, man, listen, they ain't black, we gonna take their black pass. Man, listen, a black pass that you made up You went and made it up, didn't you? You went and made it. You put some plastic on it. You put it through the Xerox machine. You know what I'm trying to say, right? You put it through the Xerox machine. You talking about a pass you put through the Xerox machine, right? You made it up. You made up the pass, didn't you? You created it, didn't you? You put some plastic around it. Illuminated pass. This black illuminated pass. Bro, listen, man. Let me tell you something. As long as I get mistreated by these Americans and get perceived as black out here, I am black on my own. See, there's one thing to be black with them and then black on your own. You're going to be still black. You're going to still go through black stuff. You're going to still go through black people playing in your face because you black. You're going to go through that. And you're going to go through white folks mistreating you too. As long as you go through that, how you going to let somebody take your blackness and tell you ain't black no more? Well, no, me and you don't get along no more. Me and you don't get along no more. Me and you ain't together no more. Because my thing is this. As long as I'm getting mistreated and played with out here, and I know they wouldn't do this to nobody else, I'm black. Okay? So now we're playing, this is the Olympics. Because we know it's the end. So the smart people are playing the right games, right? You know what the right games are? What did you do on Earth as a community, as black community? What did you actually get achieved? Let's go. We already know it's over, right? So now we play different games. We don't game stalk. That's 7 hour. We don't play with the game stalk. That's a 7 hour. Listen, bro. No. Refocus. Pay attention. Check yourself. I'm too high ranking to play with gang stalkers, bro. I figured it out for me. So now I know it's the last days and I know it's all over. The games I play is, okay, well let's see who did what. Let's see let's see by results who is the best after all. That's the games these grown men play. Not running around in car convoys, running around like a little applehead, these little applehead gay people. Riding around these little applehead, you know what type I'm talking about, these little tinks, what they call tinks, twinks or tinks or whatever. These little tinks riding around, these little applehead tinks riding around. You know what type I'm talking about, bro. Wearing their hat backwards like they down with the hood. Man, come on, bro. We know, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You know exactly the type, man. Come on, stop playing. You know what I'm talking about. Stop acting like I'm making it up. Stop acting like I'm making it up, bro. You know the little applehead, little gay dudes think they down because they got a spliff, they smoke a bliff. Hey, yo, won't y'all tell these dudes, just cause you smoke a spliff, you not 100. Won't y'all tell these dudes, just cause they buy a spliff from the store, you know what I'm saying? You don't magically become a person like me because you hit a spliff. Okay? It's 1 million people that smoke spliffs now, man. It ain't even special no more. So for Africans, you remember when it was special to smoke weed, or it was a certain type of person. Now all these clowns and psychos and weirdos, I wouldn't dare want to smoke weed with them. You know what I'm saying? It was a certain type of person. I don't smoke weed anymore anyway because I'm a man of God. But I'm saying it was a certain type of person, man. That a certain type of rebel. You know, it meant something. It meant something. There was a certain type of people that gravitated towards each other back in my time when people used to smoke weed. Now, man, you might be around a stone cold psycho smoking weed with a stone cold psycho and ain't got, and you thinking this is the type of person to chill with and smoke with, that part. See what I'm saying? Especially from back in the day, you're gonna think it's a certain type of person that like to chill. You feel me? Wind up realizing, bro, yo, you smoking with a weirdo, bro. One of these weirdos, huh? So now we're looking at The true masters are looking at the results. The results are in. You know when you vote and then the deadline is in, so then you can't do nothing else. That's how it is. The results are in. It's no more talking about, well, we doing this over here. Nah, we don't even trust that. We don't trust what we don't trust what you're doing now. We trust what you've done before now. You get it? We trust what you've done before now. Overall. And that's going to speak for you. The reason why we don't trust what's going on now, because it's too much manipulation. And it's fake communities, and it's fake environments. That part. All these fake environments, all these psychological, corny psychological environments. I ain't trusting no numbers that people talking about they got. Which means if you ain't hanging out here with these homies, I don't know what manipulation you done to do that. I don't think that's real. If you out there politicking with the community and everything, I don't know how you manipulated to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust that. I'm going to be smart enough to go way before that happened, and we want to see who you are right there. We want to go way back a little bit, and we want to see some numbers like maybe 2-3 years ago, somewhere around in there. You know what I mean? We want to see about 2, 3, 4 years ago. Show us that. Because right now, you see what I'm saying? Because right now, you're going to go out there and manipulate to puff yourself up. See what I'm saying? To make yourself look like something. To make yourself look like you got numbers. You see what I'm talking about? And we don't know how you manipulated it out there. We don't trust that with these secret society people. No. We don't trust that, because that's all you're doing anyway is manipulating. So we don't trust them numbers. You see what I'm saying? We don't trust how you riding around. Nah. The results are in. We don't trust nobody. You see what I'm saying? In these last days and the final times, now the results is in. Now we asking all the right questions, like they say in California. In California, they say, ask all the right questions. Listen, I ain't never heard that saying on the East Coast at all. I should be able to say I heard something different on the West Coast, right? On the West Coast, man, which you always forget that I lived on. Why you trying to size me up and see if I'm real or fake? Man, I lived in LA, Los Angeles. How in the world you think I made it being fake? How you think I got love? Or better to say, how you think I got love being fake? That part. Okay, they might let you be fake and don't pay you no attention. You know what I'm saying? Just think you pitiful and pathetic. But how I get love and I'm fake? That's a whole different situation, huh? Yeah, you forgot, buddy. Listen, see, the good thing about being nationwide, as soon as you trip, I got other people that can vouch it for me. That's the beautiful thing about it. I don't have to rely on New York for my whole voucher, who I am and everything. I can go find people in California that know what kind of person I am. I can always do that. I can always do that. And even when they think they got that covered over there, man, a man like me always got somebody, even here, I always got somebody that see things my way and see me for who I am. Even here. So even though they think they got that covered in California, man, I can go over there and definitely have people that vouch for my person, my character and my integrity and my heart and who I am. So as soon as you think you got me sized up, bro, listen, you can keep that. You can put it in your front pocket. You got a pocket in your shirt. You got a shirt on your pocket. You got a shirt on your pocket. You got a shirt on your pocket. Okay, so that shirt on your pocket. You can tuck away any kind of disrespect or what you feel about me, tuck it away in that shirt on your pocket. Hey, listen, man, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. I got respect in other places. I don't walk through all them places and rely on you. And rely solely on you. That would be if I was local. You can shut it down around here and make it look like I'm a clown and make it look. I can come out of this whole situation and go to California. And people like, oh, I ain't seen you in a while. What's up, man? How you doing? What you up to? I can go to California right now. People know me right there, right now. I know you hate it. I know you hate it. I can go to California. Yo, what you been up to? Oh, I ain't seen you in a while. What you been doing? Man, glad to see you. Whatever. You can't do that, can you? Like, we ain't even think about New York, buddy. And somebody say, well, why are you here? You know the response a real one will tell you, because I can. Because I can be here. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I can be. That's why I'm here. Clown gonna say, well, why are you here then? Because I can be. That's why. Try them lames with all them little dumb little cliches. You can't even cliche me. You can't say nothing cliche to me. I'm gonna make you look like a clown. Well, why are you here? Well, because I can be. That's why. Okay? Now, I personally don't care what you feel about me, because I know you acting and gaslighting anyway. You know, all these dudes in the stores talking about halfway saying, oh, that's fake or this and that. So you got to remember something about me. This is where it gets tricky with me. I am a Christian. I'm so 100, I think you forget that. So in my relaxed demeanor, in my relaxed mood, maybe that's a more simple word for you. In my relaxed mood, I'm a Christian. So that's a good-hearted person. So if you see me walk around in a disposition as a Christian, you're going to size that up the wrong way. You're going to say, oh, that's a sucker. Why? Because I'm a Christian? You know, that's what you're seeing. The good energy, that's what you're seeing. You misreading the Christian energy. No, you see that part? You see that part? I figured it out. You misreading Christian energy. You misreading, this is definitely how you need to hear it, the Spirit of Jesus in me. And so Jesus ain't gonna walk around a certain way, right? So the Spirit of Jesus in me, you misread that and say, oh, that's a sucker, or that's soft. That's when I'm relaxed. But when I turn up, yeah, now you're sitting back. You feel me? Like, I can make you feel like I can make you feel like I'm real. I can make you feel that way. That's what let me explain something to you. I can make you feel that I'm real. For sure. For sure. I don't care what kind of energy you got going on. I don't care what kind of psychological stuff you think you are or whatever. I can make you feel that I'm real every time I see you. I can make you feel that way. But you know what my position, my position is? A man of God first. So my mind is thinking about spiritual things. Something you wouldn't even understand. A level you ain't even on. So when you read that body language, when you read my relaxed body language, it's the Spirit of Jesus. And if you don't know what you're doing and you ain't informed properly, you're going to misread that for soft. And I got to take that. I got to take what come with it. When I walk around like Jesus, I got to take what come with it. Boom. That's it right there. That's 7 out. No. Hold up. Because y'all say people talking about people in the right spirit or whatever. When I do get in the right spirit, you going to think it's soft. Right or wrong. So you couldn't misread a Christian for being soft. Then when you heard I was tough, and then you see me walking in the Spirit of Jesus, you don't think you're going to misread that? Because like I said, I definitely been around killers. That's facts. That's facts, little buddy. That's facts, little buddy. I done been around the killers. That's facts, little buddy. That's facts. It's no way to dispute it. I done hang with the killers right here in New York. It's no dispute of it. It's not disputable. That's in the face of rappers, 50 Cent, Fat Joe, any rappers you got in your city, bro, they can't stop what I've been around. Unlike you, I don't care if it's people at the store, I don't care if it's street people, nobody can change facts. Nobody can change facts, bro. It's facts, it's what it is. And that's why you hate it, because you covet it. You covet these people's lanes. You know what I'm saying? You see them, they got a little something going on. You covet that. You want to be that. It's just what it is. I didn't go try to hang around killers myself personally. I didn't do that. Some people do. You might see a team or whatever in your neighborhood, and you want to get down with the team. I didn't do that. I just killers gravitated towards me, and I gravitated toward killers. That's my story in my life. Birds of a feather flock together, like the old school say. You know what I'm saying? But, so if you're misreading me, it's because you take basically my kindness for weakness. If I'm in the spirit of Jesus and I'm just in the store just minding my business, you know what I'm saying? I ain't thinking about trying to show you who I am. You trying to figure it all out in a matter of 3 minutes. That's what it is. You trying to figure out all the stuff you heard from the streets and everything. You trying to figure it all out in 3 minutes, and it ain't gonna happen, buddy. Because I'm gonna come in there in a good spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to get my stamps and envelopes. Think about being a ghetto person. A ghetto person gonna understand that. Man, I'm just coming in there trying to get my stamps or whatever. I'm trying to get my stuff. I ain't thinking nothing about no street stuff or anything. I'm focused more on what I'm trying to do. That makes sense? Instead of me going in there with this certain persona. See, we live in a time of personas. And I see that. I don't care about a persona. I know what I'll do. I know what I've been around. I know what I am. That's it. I don't care about no certain persona. See, that's these new generations of people, not even young people. It's just a new community that go by personas. I don't care about no persona. That's how I size you up. Because how you gonna figure out if somebody real based on body language, bro? Ain't nobody that good. Not even me. Nobody's that good. And see, that's how we know what society you're a part of. You're part of them little dumb secret society. Okay, well then how you gonna size somebody up and then in the same store, people done robbed your store, you got pictures of people done robbed your store, that's 7 hours. People done robbed your store, huh? You done sized them up wrong, didn't you? You probably thought they was fake too, didn't you? You probably thought they was fake too. Hey, why they picture up on the back of the counter then? Well, if you knew they was about to do what they was doing, you could read people real good. Then why you was slipping? I'm talking about the store Utica Best up there on Utica. Yeah, that part, bro. They got all these pictures. They got flocks of pictures like a portfolio or something, where somebody that came in there and robbed them or stole some or whatever. They got all these pictures back there. That's people that done robbed them. I ain't stupid. They did something. They did something criminal in nature, didn't they? Which means they probably robbed you, bro. Come on, man. It's 24/7. They went in there and hit it and quit it, didn't they? Like James Brown. They hit it and quit it like James Brown. Like James Brown. They hit it and quit it like James Brown. Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something. How you got all these pictures in your store? This is Utica Best. They out there trying to size me up. Okay. But at the same time, you got all these pictures behind your counter of people that done robbed y'all. Well, you must have sized them up wrong too, didn't you? Well, that's an educated assumption. I mean, you must have sized them up wrong too, didn't you? See, I'm gonna tell you something. An OG said some time back, maybe about 2 years ago, from New Orleans. It's a dude that down there in Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? If you just look up Baton Rouge street politics, you probably find this dude, and he talking like in the driveway. You know, at a house in the driveway. You know, like a homie. So he out in the driveway just talking, right, on the video. So he like talking about how sizing people up, all that kind of stuff, right? Like on the same subject. So he like all that looking at people and how they dress and how they carry themselves to try to basically figure them out. He said that's all out the window. And I'm like, man, before he even said that, I had already been on that for like a couple years or so. That's how I know who street people are, because they can create new understanding about what's going on out here. They can progress in their understanding about what's going on out here. And that's how you know people ain't sticking to personas. When you got understanding about the subject and you progress with the subject and understanding on the subject, listen, how can that be fake? You in life, you live it, it lives. Your understanding live about this stuff. So how can it be fake? When you got when your understanding is alive and progressing. My understanding progresses out here. You understand me? Sizing somebody up at a store makes no sense to me in 2026. Because you don't know who that person is, man. You're not going to get no read on that person. Now, if you was in the 70s, maybe. But because you desperate to see who I am, you just making an assumption instead of saying, you know what? I can't see this dude. Just chalk it off, man. That's what it is. Just chalk it off as that, man. But you ain't, see, an arrogant person ain't gonna leave it at that. You ain't gonna leave it at that. You ain't gonna leave it at that you can't see me. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I come in there with the spirit of Christ like a normal, natural person. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in there to do what I do, man. I ain't thinking about you, bro. I'm coming in there to do what I do. Every time you see me, I'm getting money. That's why they can't stand it. You see me at the ATM. You see me doing this. You know what I mean? Every time you see me, I'm like a grown man. I ain't out there for no reason. That's all I'm saying. Every time you see me, buddy, that's why they can't stand it. Every time you see me, buddy, I got money in my hand. I'm doing something. I got food. I'm getting something. You don't see me idle, sitting around, worried about who somebody is. But like the OG said down in Louisiana, man, like that reading people stuff, maybe y'all not relevant in the streets. Or y'all not relevant in with certain mentalities from some of the hardest cities. In Louisiana, they already determined that reading people stuff is out the window, bruh. That's how he put it, out the window. That's how you'll know what video it is. You know what I'm saying? He was saying that's out the window. So he was the dude, and this ain't no dry snitching or nothing, but he was with the dude. This is how you know to look up the video. He was with the dude that who used to put in work for Boosie. The little dude used to put in work for Boosie. He was with the same dude. And the story is, he was in his back seat. That little dude was in his back seat. So it stems from there. That's the same dude. So nobody really knows this dude that I'm talking about, but he knew, you know what I'm saying, somebody that was affiliated with Boosie, you know what I'm saying? And everybody know who that dude is. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you'll find who it is. That dude right there, been around dangerous dudes like that, right? So he was like, the same dude, what I'm telling you, this is a bona fide street dude. He said, man, that reading people, looking at how they dress, how they carry themselves, all that kind of stuff, that's out the window. Nobody does that no more. Ain't no street people sizing people up by body language and stuff like that. I know about body language. I ain't stupid. 20% of body language is non-verbal. 80% of body language is non-verbal. So you know what I'm talking about. Listen, bro. People are so deceptive. That's how they got you. Because they know what you're looking for. So if you try to read people, people gonna act like they want you, like you think they should act. I don't act like you think I should act. I act like a man. I act like a human being. I move like a human being. Okay, I just gotta clear that up, man. I just gotta clear that up, bro. Cause I'm just so, I don't know, I'm just so used to being normal and human that I don't hold to no personas. That's how most ghetto people are anyway. I ain't never met nobody that was a killer and just held to this persona, like how they carried it, this style or nothing. They just was normal, just like a normal person. Yeah, what's up? What's up? I'm going to the store. You need some cigarette? You need some? You need a soda? Get a soda. Blah, blah. They ain't holding to no certain persona. Them fake. I think them fake people right there. I ain't never met somebody that killed people in my life that held to this certain persona, like how they just acted a certain way. I never seen that. You know, I'm not saying people are fake, but you find that kind of attitude more out of a rapper. So maybe that's how New York is, why New York is the way it is. Because this is the birthplace of rap, you know what I'm saying? And maybe New Yorkers, that's part of their lingo, they hold to a certain persona, how they carry themselves with a certain persona, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's fake, but maybe that's their lingo. I don't hold to no persona, bruh. Like some rapper or something. I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm 100. You know what I'm saying? I done been everywhere. I done lived in California. I done lived everywhere. So I think that's what it is. I think, man, like, you know, people are influenced by rap, and in New York, it's a certain lingo where they hold to this certain persona. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense because it's the land of famous people and all this stuff. And you think about it, street dudes gonna sit back and have, surrounded by all these movie stars and stuff, you're gonna think about holding to this certain persona of who you are. You know, how you want to present yourself to these same people out here. Feel me? That makes perfect sense. See, I figured it all out. Why you even think like that? Because if you go to other cities, man, you go into a store, ain't nobody sizing you up as fake or real in a matter of 3 seconds. It's not happening. Ain't nobody gonna be able to figure it out. I'm gonna just sit back. And you could make a complete fool of yourself, and I still don't know you're real or not. I don't know. You could be drunk. And you still real. See, that's because I'm not from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be drunk, crazy, whatever, on pills or whatever. Think about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know, you could have something on your mind. I don't know. You know, and at that moment in time, I can misread you for whatever. You know what I'm saying? For whatever I think. But how I know, you know what I'm saying? How I really know who you are. I mean, I don't go by that. And so the South already done said it, man. That all that reading people is out the window, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And this is, and how I put it before I heard that cat say that was that I basically looked at all these young dudes, these young steppers, these dudes out here with Dracos and SKSs and everything like that. These little dudes be wearing skinny jeans and skinny and be walking around and they be silly and they got guns. So I realized, oh man, like, man, you know, you can size somebody up wrong, one of these little dudes, these little skinny dudes. And you can look at him and think whatever you thinking, but this dude got a Draco and ready to go. So I'm like, wow, this is a new time because I wouldn't be called dead in no tight jeans like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is not a fake dude though. Like, he's a stepper. He got a Draco, for crying out loud. Have you looked at the new generations? That's all I'm asking. For people that size people up like them dudes right there, have you looked at the new generation lately? These cats be dressing all kind of way. They be looking weird. They got tight jeans on, and I say this respectfully. They be looking weird. They got tight jeans on. They act weird a little bit. How you gonna size up them young dudes? I feel sorry for you. Cause how you gonna size up them young dudes? That's why they be robbing your store, bruh. Cause how you gonna size up these young dudes, man? You seen them lately? How they dress? You would think, and all the colors and stuff they wear, all the kind of busy colors they wear. I wouldn't wear none of that kind of stuff. I kind of stick to solids, black, white, maybe some other colors in there a little bit. That's about it. They be wearing all kind of busy stuff I wouldn't even wear. You know what I'm saying? But they got Dracos. They ready to go. They'll shoot you in your face, bro. And you can't try these dudes. You can't try these young dudes. You can't try them. Okay, so then if you size them up and they go in the store, let's say, you know, a young dude gonna go in the store, get candy, all kind of stuff. He get candy bars, all this stuff. You like, oh, this is a sucker. Why? Why? Cause he went in there, got candy bars. He kind of preoccupied on his phone, and you sizing him up. Based on that little stuff. You can't size people up based on that. You don't know no better, bro. That's what I'm saying. You see, you the type that go by TV, internet, all this stuff. You ain't really in the jungle. How I know? Because you don't progress in your understanding about how it is out here and who's real and who's fake. You don't really know what to go by. So somebody like you will get smoked by somebody like me. Boom. The one you play with, overlook, that'd be the one to get you right there. That's how it all, most of the times, man, even back in the day, that's how it always go. So that's why you gotta know how to play out here. You gotta know how to play chess. Because my thing is this, these merchants at these stores, they're getting these politics in the streets. I might not be able to find these dudes that come in the store at the time that y'all sit in the store with these gang stalkers, right? I might not be able to find them again, but I can find you. You work at the store. So how you gonna get into politics and you work at the store? Think about it. How you gonna get into politics and you work at the store? I can always find you at the store. And that's how you know what my mentality is. That's how I think. I mean, if you in these politics and I feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying? I can always come back and get with you. You see what I'm saying? So I advise lames like you. Listen, why I size you up as lame is because of the mistakes you make and who you put your mouth on. That's how. And I don't care if you got guns. To me, you the type to die with a gun. That part. Just cause you got a gun don't make you real. You probably know how to shoot guns, but you the type to die with guns. With a gun on him. Or access to gun. Oh, he had a gun at the house, but he dead. Them type of dudes. Man, look, man. Look, bro. Look. Let me tell you something from a black man's perspective. Just like a black man told me, man. All that judging people out and sizing people up, bro. That's gone. That's been gone, man. You can't do that no more because it's nothing solid to show you this definitely has to be like that in order to be real or to be a killer. It's nothing definite no more. That's the best way to tell a little smart dummy like you. There's nothing definite no more. For how you can size somebody up. You don't know. Because people get different information and they bred on different information and lingos and cultures. Okay, it's just like a gumbo of different cultures and mindsets coming from all the internet stuff and all. No, that's true. And people decide who they want to be. They get the clothes. You remember you used to only get clothes around the hood. Now you can go online and get clothes mailed to you, all kind of stuff ain't nobody got. Like, what is that? What do you got on? Now ain't around here nowhere, and then guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna size it up wrong. Cause he done bought something off the internet. See, that's how much of a sucker you are. You know what I'm saying? But I'm smart enough to know, oh, he probably got that offline. He ain't got that from nowhere around here. You know, so it's just like, man, I definitely get offended. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get offended because as far as how I size people up, listen, bro, what you're doing is elementary to me. I wouldn't even, even if I felt some type of way, I wouldn't let that other person know. I be knowing how you feel and everything. If I know how you feel, I can come back and get with you. You feel me? That's all I'm saying, bro. I don't hold to personas. You know what I'm saying? I know, and listen, God knows I'm a soldier, bro. That's facts. I done been called a soldier by military. That's facts. It's one thing for the streets to call you a soldier. It's another thing for military to call you a soldier. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. So you weigh the opinions. Well, let's weigh the opinions about me. Military calling me a soldier. I don't live with military. You know what I'm saying? Let's weigh the opinions. And your rinky-dink opinion, your little two red cent. Listen, bro, it don't mean nothing to me. That's all I'm saying. I got respect from coast to coast, bro. Check yourself, man, before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, let me tell you something. Check yourself before you crash out. You know what I'm saying? Check yourself before you crash out yourself. You know what I'm saying? Check yourself before you crash out yourself. That's real. That's real, bro. It's no more sizing people up. That's how you know we in the future. In the future, you can't size somebody up like we in the 90s. You know, somebody coming in with a beer, you know what I'm saying, like a homie. And you could eat, that's a more simple time. That was a more simple place and time. Now, man, how you know we in the future? You can't size nobody up in a store, some random person. We in the future. Which means the dimensions are deeper, and people are in deeper, different places and nooks and crannies and different things. You feel me? Like it's a spread out world, and people way away from you and what you represent. And then you come and look at that person. You don't know where they come from. Mentally, off the internet and everything like that, you don't know who's before you. You listen, man. You the type. I guarantee you the type that looked at the old school, but you're not progressive. You can't progress with even us that come from the old school. You back just looking at images of the old school. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing, bro. That's all you're doing. So it to me, you know, that's how you know I ain't washed up. You washed up soon as you're not relevant. You could be old and relevant. It's not an age factor. It's not an age factor or a gender factor or a race factor or anything. It's if you are progressive in your understanding. If you're not, that's what make you washed up. Cause you washed up, bro. If I come into your store, you try to size me up in 3 minutes, you washed up. You don't know who I am. You don't know I could carry myself. That's just the times we've evolved to. Like if you pay attention to human behavior, I mean, maybe you don't, and maybe you think you see a lot of people from Brooklyn, so you size me up. I'm not from Brooklyn, so you may think in your expertise of seeing all these dudes, it's them type of dudes too. You because you're a merchant in Brooklyn, you think you're not seeing the best. You think you're not seeing the toughest and the meanest. I don't care about that. All I know is I've been around the killers. All I know is I hurt you if I have to. And listen, and they can be whoever they are, and they can be meaner than me or whatever. But the bottom line is the person that before you can hurt you, and whatever you thought, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Them people don't matter. See, you the type that look at these dudes that about 6'11" and say that's a thug. But you the type also to get killed by somebody that's about 4'11". That's a thug. You in your mind, you have what you're scared of, and what you think is a thug is probably what you're scared of, right? And that's all you think is a thug. How we know you're not at the streets? Because what you're scared of is what you respect, and that's it. I respect everybody. It don't matter who crossed my path. Anybody can kill you. So if I don't look at how big you are or whatever and decide to say you're real, I don't know if you're real. See, that sounds like the streets don't. I don't know. You could be 5'2", but you a problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. No, I don't care what you talk about. I'm gonna tell you one thing that is very true that most people that's arrogant like that will not accept. And you don't know everybody. You can't size everybody up with that little psychological foolishness you're doing, buddy. That ain't gonna be sufficient. You don't know. Listen, you ain't no way in the world you can use that and figure everybody out. No way. It's no way. I don't care how good you are at it. I don't care how good you are at it, bruh. Because I done been around killers. See, with a Christian ain't going to present that to the community. I'm going to come out there doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Being in a decent mood. Carrying myself like a soldier on a mission, right? Now, trying to think in the mindset of the streets or trying to carry this certain persona or carrying myself in street life, and I'm not thinking about street stuff. But I'll hurt you, right? See, them type of people, you size up wrong, bro. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. And they just as dangerous. It's just that I don't sell drugs. But I'm a soldier. A soldier don't necessarily sell drugs, but a soldier can kill you. See the difference? A soldier don't have to sell drugs to be a threat. A soldier don't have to sell drugs to be validated as somebody that will kill you. That's a drug dealer. A drug dealer or a street dude, you're gonna go with the drug dealers. I don't have to be a drug dealer. So then I don't have to be nothing like a drug dealer. Do you understand that? I don't have to be nothing like these drug dealers you see in Brooklyn. And I'm still a problem. And see, that's those who understand the jungle. They ain't the only threats. A thug or a gangster is not the only threat, bruh. I done been around killers, people on death row. I done been around, man, I've been around somebody on death row. Do you know what that means? He probably killed 3 to 4 people. The state was gonna kill this dude. This dude, not Death Row Records with Tupac. Death Row. This dude was a death row inmate. And you sizing me up? I done been around a death row inmate, bro. You know what that death row inmate said? You are cold-hearted. He told me that. I'm thinking, like, is that a compliment or do I need to change? You after all, you was a death row inmate. I don't know if they say that's a compliment or I need to change. Maybe I need to change. It's just that I have a no bullcrap policy. That's he picked up on it. I have a no bullcrap policy. I don't use my feelings or my empathy or apathy when I see that you a situation. When I see it's a problem, when I see a person, I have no empathy. And some people say that's like a serial killer. Well, I don't walk around like that. But if you push me to it, that's what you're going to find. You're going to find that I have no compassion, no empathy, no apathy, and it's not going to stop. And that's that. And that's what the dude that was a death row inmate told me about myself. You are cold-hearted. He told me to my face. You cold-hearted. Hey, man. How I look at it, I just run a tight ship, and I have a no bull crap policy. If I smell doo-doo, I smell doo-doo. I'm not gonna try to act like most people do, especially our own people, black people. They kind of just get along to get along. I don't do that. If I know you oppose me, why am I act like we getting along to get along? Because, see, people used to living in drama. You know what I'm saying? You used to live in drama and all of that, man. That's what it is. You used to live in drama and all of that, and I'm not. Once I see people playing in my face, that's it, bro. I don't have frenemies. You know how they say friend and enemy put together? Frenemies. I don't have no frenemies. That's that. You know what I'm saying? See, them the type of people right there. It's somebody out there they scared of. This is a Jedi mind trick for you. I don't use Jedi mind trick, but this is a hack for you. A person that you know sized you up wrong, right? You know they sized you up wrong. You know what that tell me? They look at a certain type of person. You see what I'm saying? And you got a whole jungle. See, I can make it anywhere, bro, because I don't think like you. You the type that got this certain type of person, like a tenderoni, like a romance, that you think is a thug or a street criminal. You got this certain type. See what I'm saying? Which is almost suspect. You got this certain type, don't you? That you respect and that you think is a real one, right? Okay, so, but there's a whole jungle of killers and animals. And by looking at the pages in your store, I'm still talking the Best Utica, the Best Utica grocery store on Utica. The 24/7 one, yeah, we're talking about them. Looking at all the pictures that you got behind the counter, I think you've been sizing people up wrong, bro. Well, why you keep getting robbed? I mean, you got all these pictures up. I'm pretty sure that it looks like a robbery, a 211 to me. Look like they went on a lick to me, buddy. That's all I'm saying, bro. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Listen. Let me tell you something. You the type that respect a certain type of criminal that looks the part. See, the old school, the whole thing about being a criminal is I don't look the part, just be the part. Don't look the part, just be the part. See, that's backwards today. Dudes put tattoos in their face and everything and tears all down their face. They ain't never called no bodies. Back in the old school, if you had tears by your eyes from the gangs, my understanding, you called bodies. Then somewhere along the way, people just start putting tattoos all over their face and they ain't never called no bodies, and some of them ain't never been around no killers either. That's why I would never do that. I would always keep my face clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be one of them pretty soldiers. I'm gonna stay clean like that. That's my tattoo, is a pretty face soldier. That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting all these tattoos on my face or whatever, man, listen, man. And them dudes ain't been around a killer a day in their life. That's all I'm saying, bro. So then, see, if I had came in there with a whole bunch of tattoos on my face, you might take a little bit more you'd be a little more apprehensive about putting your mouth on me. See, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You have a certain type of person that you respect, but the ones you don't, that'll be the ones that kill you right there. I'm just calling it high based on what you was doing the last time I was in there. A couple of them dudes in Best Utica. Stick to the groceries, bro. Stick to the pickles and the apples. That's what your job is. Stick to the pickles and the apples. You know what I'm saying? Stick to the pickles and the apples, bro. You know what I'm saying? You listen, how I know you ain't built for the streets? Cause you size people up wrong. And you quick to size people up. I'm not even quick to size people up. I just stand back. If I'm anywhere, I just stand. I don't go start trying to size people up. That's what get people killed in the first place. I don't look around and start, for whatever reason. I don't care if it's even politics. That's why I stayed out of trouble. The kind of trouble y'all in. I don't get in that kind of trouble. Because I'm going to sit back and I'm going to just let people be who they are. And if they make major mistakes, I'm going to call it how it is. But I ain't looking for it. You feel me? I ain't looking for it. But if you ask my opinion, I'm going to tell you based on these mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You ask me about Utica grocery store, them dudes in there, if you have the same problem, I'm going to say, yeah. They be in there reading people, playing, talking under their breath. Like, we amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Throwing signals and everything. And like, we amateurs, man. I'm like, come on, bro. That's low level. That's one-on-one out here in these streets. All them signals and talking to each other behind under your breath, man. Listen. That's one-on-one out here. So if somebody came to me and they would say, yo, well, how you feel about that, man? I see them people in there acting like they, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They fake, bro. They quick to size people up. They scared of certain type of people, but they don't respect everybody. They scared of certain type of people, but they not respectful of everybody. They scared of certain type of people, but they don't respect everybody. You can't walk around like that. Them the type of people that wind up dying out here in these streets. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you. That's who it happened to. Because you're going to size people up. You're going to say, nah, they ain't nothing. I ain't going to never say that. How I know? So I take the same precaution. Maybe you hear me talk like I do, and you feel like I just step on people. I don't step on people. You don't never know who you stepping on. I don't step on people. But if you out of pocket, I'm going to check you. And that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? But just stepping on somebody and just walking up, just step. I don't never move like that until you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, I'm gonna step on you because you beneath me. You know what I'm saying? And you came and you played in something you shouldn't be playing with for fun. Half of them doing it for fun, you know, for the kicks. Okay, play with me for kicks, and I step on you. No pun intended. Step on me for kicks and I step on you. That's just what it is, bro. And then New York is one of them places, if you ain't glitzy with all this gold or whatever, people will size that up too as you like you ain't nobody. Okay, but at the same time, I can hurt you if I needed to. And that's all you need to look at. You don't need to be worried about no jewelry. You don't need to be worried about, see, that's how you know I ain't got no New York mentality, because I don't feel the need to have all those additives. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the need to do that. No, I don't. No, I don't. You know? So the results is in. I say all that to say this, man. With all these misperceptions and misconceptions, you know, the results is in. We'll with all these gang stalkers that done made Legoland. They got Legoland out there, don't they? They done made a Lego land out there, ain't they? It's Lego land, ain't it? It's Lego land. Listen, bro. Are you really giving a lot of respect for the things that people do now? Because you don't know if it's Freemasons that done bought it off. They done paid to be in them positions. They done paid to line up with the streets and be aligned with the streets. You paid for it. You bowed down for it. You tricked off for it. You played a John. You a John for it. Tricking off on the streets. I don't trick off on the streets, bro. That part. You the type that trick off on the streets, ain't you? So you can be aligned with the streets. So you can play the position like you with the streets. You the type Freemasons and secret societies. You the type to trick off on the streets to align yourself with the streets. Boy, that's good right there. Woo! That's good. You the type to align yourself with the streets by tricking off on the streets. Ain't nobody stupid, so we ain't giving no respect to that. See what I mean? See my logic? I ain't giving no respect to that for your position when I know you done tricked off for it. You done paid people off to play in these positions. You sell drugs not because you want to play a certain position. You want the persona behind it. So you just buy you hustling and for a persona. That's fake to me. You don't even half of them don't even gotta be a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't respect that. No, you want to play that position. You know what I'm saying? You want the glory behind it. And you know what? If you fake, you gonna make so many mistakes in that drug dealer position anyway that people ain't gonna give you no respect. That's why I laugh at people like you, because even if you do get in these positions, you gonna mess it up. I bet you half of them done messed it up, ain't they? Them Freemason, secret society people, they done align themselves with the streets, but I bet you they made mistakes, didn't they? Oh, how I know? Because they fake. I know you ain't. I know it's not too much long that you could be in that position without somebody detecting that you fake or something. You don't know rules and regulations. You say something out your mouth or you do something crazy and people don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And then somebody like me, I ain't trying to be aligned with the streets, but I'm getting respect. You know why? Because I got rules and regulations. I understand rules and regulations. I understand life. I have good understanding, not good manipulation. I got good understanding, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just what it is. So that covers everything that happened. See, most of the time when I go out there and I come back in, I'm going to cover all the little stuff that happened. That's basically what happened. They're trying to size me up at the best Utica market store or whatever. You know that one to stay open. Oh, we're going to put it out there, right up the street from Popeyes on Utica. Yeah, the first store. Yeah, we talking about that one. You listen, bro, we're going to put you out there, bro. You should, but how I feel, you shouldn't even be in my politics, man. Come on, bro. You not a street nigga. That's all I'm saying. Let's call it how it is. Okay, so then what you doing? Real recognize real, but you not in the streets. You ain't been around enough killers. Not black people. It's not a race card, it's a real card. It's a being real card. Man, listen, and then even besides that, man, listen, bro. Listen. You can't go around here sizing up people. It's a dangerous game to play. Even the people in this building, let it be known to you. I ain't CB4. Chris Rock, like CB4, the little fake rapper guy. CB4, remember the movie CB4? This is not CB4, bro. First of all, he ain't have no weapons, did he? Oh man, listen, I keep it, bro. Listen, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Go ask NYPD about me. Go ask NYPD, New York Police Department. Go ask them. No, this ain't snitching. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This talking about go ask the police. Go ask the police what kind of charges I got. over and over again. Weapon charges and weapon charges and weapon charges. See, that's all I'm saying. So while you sizing me up wrong in the stores, at the same time, I'm getting arrested for weapon charges. That's all I'm saying. That's my history. So then I'm the type, let's put it like this. I'm the type that could do you and you wouldn't know it was coming. And that's how most people like it. Oh yeah, go ahead and size me up wrong. Yeah, the one you slept on, listen, I like it like that because guess what? I could get work if I wanted it. I ain't trying to because people go, if you size me up wrong, if your community keeps sizing me up wrong, what can I think? What I'm gonna think? What can I think? That's my ghetto moment for the day. What can I think? You know what I can think? What can I think? I'm gonna think that I can get under the radar of half of these people without them knowing I'm gonna kill them. They wouldn't even know I was gonna do it. You see how I can look at it? You see how I can look at it, buddy? You wouldn't even see it coming. Listen, you think I'm playing, don't you, bro? I like it like that. I see when you're older, when you're young, you know, see that's how you know people they didn't grow up. When you're young, you worry about stuff like that. When you get older, oh, okay, good. I'm glad you think that, because guess what? If I have to do something or anything, you won't think I was the one capable of doing it. You're gonna tell the police, no, I don't think it was him. You're gonna tell the police, I don't think it was him. I don't think he would do that. Good. Thank you. See, that's how a bona fide criminal would think. I'm not a criminal, but I'm just saying. Good that you think that. You know why? Because look, you're going to tell the police, I don't think that was him. No, I see him around, but I don't think he did that. Good. That's what the old school dude gonna tell. That's what an old school criminal gonna tell. Good. You ain't think I did it? Good. I literally don't have nothing to prove, bro. But I'm just setting everything in proper perspective. You know, you gotta put lames in their place in the jungle. You don't have no dudes way up here because of whatever. I don't care about the money you make. I don't care what you do. And I ain't hating on it. But you do what you do. You not out here. You know how I know? Because you make mistakes. How you out here, you make mistakes. Now, I go find some bona fide New York dudes in the streets. They ain't gonna make no mistakes of sizing somebody up. They ain't gonna do it. They gonna sit back like everybody else do. I ain't finna say nothing. No, I'm gonna sit back. And I ain't gonna say nothing in front of the person. No. I ain't gonna make the mistake where he can mark me and mark you and mark us. No. I don't make them kind of mistakes. Then you get marked by somebody and then you wonder what happened to you. Some people, man, listen, it's a real jungle out here for real, bro. And I survived. I survived the jungle from coast to coast. It might scare you. Listen, to realize the jungle is from coast to coast, huh? It ain't just in New York. It ain't just down your block. This jungle is coast to coast, big baby. It ain't no way in the world I'm gonna go through the jungle and navigate through the jungle from coast to coast, and you gonna size me up. It sized me up wrong, and you must be tripping. You must listen. You gaslighting, ain't you? You must be part of them little secret society people. You acting, ain't you? You acting and gaslighting and acting. It ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna make me feel no certain type of way. I'm just letting you know, cause I know it's a certain person like you anyway. If you ain't really like that, it's somebody like you like that anyway. Okay, so I'm just putting all the right energy in the air so we can clear the air for these suckers. Okay, now. We care about who you are today. Okay? Not, oh, well, I plan to do this and I plan, nah. We talking about the real Olympics. What's your numbers today? What did you do in the past 10 years? That's better to ask. What you do in the past 10 years? For black people that did not face the white man, how you think you gonna be in my lane? Now here's my message. This is for everybody now. See, once I get the lames out the way, the lame gonna sit back and realize I address everybody. You couldn't do that, could you? Nah, you scared of everybody. You scared of the streets. I'm not. Look, how y'all gonna try me, but y'all didn't face the white man on the battlefield? That's the message. This is the video. Now this is the real part of the video. I had to clear out. It took me a whole hour to get rid of that foolishness. Now, the video is, because by this time, it's only the real gonna be listening anyway. The people that don't understand how I'm talking and understand it and see it for what it is, they don't find no pleasure in it or anything. You know, they don't find no interest in it. They gonna be gone by now. Now, here's the message. Now that I got the right crowd, I got the right crowd, right? I got the right crowd. How black people gonna skip steps and try me, right? But you never you never faced the white man on the battlefield. You didn't face him. You didn't face him. You seen that I won, and then you came. This is really how it happened. Black people played in my politics. Yeah, you did. You was already wrong from day one, right? You played in my politics. You found you left me for dead with white people. X amount of years went by being gang stalked by white gang stalking, right? I beat that and gained a reputation for beating it. You swung back around like we can beat them. You swung back around after leaving me for dead. I beat you. But you left me over to the white folks. This is how it really happened. If you don't know the whole history. Black people came out here and played with my politics. I beat them in all the games they played. I weathered it. I weathered everything they did. The white community came next. I beat that. In all the games they played, I weathered everything they did. I gained reputation for doing all of it. Then black people came back around as if I didn't beat you already. Now that you've seen I got the reputation for beating the white man, now you want to come back and try to gain reputation off of me for beating me. But here's the problem. You got to go face who I beat. I beat the white Americans. Oh yeah, I beat white America. Okay, so then I expect you to go and beat him and then come back and get back with me. You don't see it that way. So you just get so the elephant in the room is the white man has oppressed black people. Let's slow down right there. The elephant in the room is that white people have oppressed black people this whole time. That's why it's not all good, because there's still an elephant in the room. Well, yeah. They oppressed black people this whole time. I rise to ranks. I beat him. You see it and think you're going to beat me. And the insinuation is you think you're going to get all my reputation from just beating me, per se. But you didn't beat who I beat. I successfully beat the white Americans at everything they did. I beat them at everything they did, and then you came back around acting like, oh, we can take care of that. Bro. Let me tell you something. That definitely was your attitude. That's your attitude now. The only problem with that is among real masters, we do not respect the fact, we don't respect the whole timeline between me and you. The whole timeline of those who tried me. We don't respect the whole timeline. First of all, you sent somebody to put the black community with the Freemasons, sent somebody to put HIV in my body on purpose. You sent the black dude, the black community, and the Freemasons and the secret societies, other ones, they sent the black man, Anthony Jackson, down in Fort Lauderdale. You sent him to me on purpose to give me HIV on purpose. So you listen, you will never rise above that. For those who was involved, the black community, the Freemasons, you can't, your rank is lowered. Like Bill was saying, Kill Bill, when one of his assassins wanted to kill Beatrix Kiddo in the hospital, she was just gonna put some poison in her IV and kill her, while she wasn't able to defend herself, right? But see, if you learn from Quentin Tarantino's writing, you understand there's high assassins and lowered rats. And if you do what rats do, you don't get this glory of being classy assassins. No, see, this is chess. Not, oh, I just want to do it and just be tough and I think we're going to do this. Nah. No, bro, listen. Among real assassins, you could never get respect for putting HIV in my body on purpose. You can't come back from that. You would never be put in the ranks of high quality, world-class assassins and soldiers. Nope. Too dirty of a move. Too funky of a move. And it fits funky black people like you. So let's get that very, very, very crystal clear and understood. From day one, you've been a dirty, dirty dog from day one. And you could never get the respect. And listen, you see the pedigree of me, right? You see my pedigree. I didn't make the mistakes you made in my life as a grown man. You could never get my level of quality and world-class respect because of that. It was a black community effort, and you don't think I know that. I do know that, because you was already bitter and butthurt and heard through the grapevine that I ain't want nothing to do with black people, and you misunderstood that, and therefore that's why you sent that person against me. Black people felt some type of way because I felt that way, but now we know why I felt that way, because they was in my politics. Okay? They was in my politics. This is what, so my intuition in the jungle, moving in the jungle, at one time when these politics kicked up. So you got to remember, nobody went through the jungle like I did. So even when we talk street politics, I'm going to take off on you and talk about street politics on a level that you haven't seen, nor experienced, nor have you heard in somebody else's life. So when black people went against me as a collective community, you can't talk about that in your own experiences, right? Right. You can't talk about that in your own experiences, and you probably don't know nobody else that went through it. So then you got to sit back and observe, right? And take notes. You can't put your rinky-dink opinion on something you ain't been through, right? It ain't gonna stick. You never been oppressed by black people, have you? I have. It didn't do anything to me. I ultimately won. But, you know, I have another, I moved differently than any black man would ever move concerning black people because of what they did to me. They got in my politics because of my brother. You were stupid enough to just listen. He tricked you. He played you. He was mad about a woman. That's facts. He can't change it. You can't change it. I know what it really was about. So you can talk about irrelevant information, and I don't care. I know what this was about. I can prove that with other family members that This was said. I was given this information by other people. Let's clear. Let's make this very clear. I was given this information by another person in my family that my brother thought I had sex with his wife. So how you gonna tell me that's not what this is all about? You gotta be retarded. If somebody in my family told me on the phone, yeah, you know, it's a rumor in the family that you slept with his wife. A rumor in the family. That's exactly how it was said to me. A rumor in the family. Okay, that means more than one person knows this information. That means this been going around my family behind my back. Now let that sink in. This been going around my family behind my back about my brother thinking I had sex with his wife, and I ain't never even been in the room with his wife, in the same room with her for 30 minutes, me and her by ourselves. I ain't never even been in the room with her for 30 minutes by ourselves in my whole life. Me and her never been in the same room together by ourselves for over 30 minutes in my whole life of knowing this woman. That's just the paranoia of a stupid dude, a chump. You know what I'm saying? You think somebody has. You see what I'm saying? There was no reason for him to think that. There was no reason for him to think that. I ain't never even make compliments on certain word. I ain't never say nothing about her looks really, or how she. It was no reason for you to think that. You ain't never catch me looking at her off key. You ain't never. I know how dudes think. You ain't never see me sizing her up, looking at her in a sexual way. No, none of that, man. None of that. None of that. That's what I want you to think about. He ain't never even catch me looking at her in any kind of funny way at all. At all. If anything, I only gave her advice for life. Be yourself. Just be yourself. Because she was real quiet. So a person that's real quiet and don't really talk and don't interact in relations, in conversations, you could kind of tell, they might feel like, I'm not being what I need to be in these situations. Does that make sense? And I just told her one time, just be yourself. That's the only thing I ever told that girl. And he was sitting right there. And I said that right in front of him. So why I'm going to say something right in front of him? What's the extra meaning behind that? And I done said it right in front of him, right in front of my brother. You see what I'm saying? So, y'all got played from day one, bro. And how we know? Because I received intelligence from my family, that it was a rumor in the family that I slept with his wife. How you telling me that's not what it was about? My family is telling me this. You should have knew I would. I'm gonna have information that you couldn't possibly have, but in your retarded arrogance, you thought you would outfox me with my own family. How you gonna outfox me with people I grew up with and I know and that's in my family, and he connected to other people in my family? How in the world you gonna outfox me? Stupid, man. You gotta be stupid. You gotta be retarded. That's why I'm trying to show you. It's a certain type of retarded person that comes from the suburbs, these white folks and these black folks, that shouldn't have been a part of this at all. From day one, you shouldn't have been part of this. You weak and you're pathetic. You don't think. I do. I use my brain, buddy. One thing I did was put my brain to use. Did you put your brain to use in your lifetime? Now that the results have come in, show us how you put your brain to use in your lifetime. I don't think you put your brain to use in your lifetime. Well, you didn't know your country was marrying children. You didn't put your brain to use right there, did you? You didn't put your brain to use to research laws concerning children, sexuality with children, did you? So you didn't really put your brain to use, did you? Not in the area that you should have. You was out here talking about children, right? You was out here talking about children. Well, why you didn't put your brain to use with figuring out the laws in America about children? You didn't think about that. You didn't put your brain to use in your lifetime, buddy. That's all it is. How did you think you was gonna outfox me with my own family and knowing I'ma have information that you couldn't possibly have? How you gonna have it, bruh? Oh, Tremaine. So he gonna tell you everything? No, idiot. That's common sense. And I'm gonna have different people and other people to bring about the truth. If he's in my family, which he was, right? Okay, so then how you think I ain't gonna have other information on him? And he's in my family. So you don't think I would just know anything about him or the situation? You just assume, maybe because you thought I was guilty according to the context and narrative you was told, I wouldn't have anything, no valuable information. Think about how stupid that is. And this is my family. Why I ain't gonna have no valuable information? Think about that. To change your whole feelings about this. I ain't gonna have no information to change your whole feelings about this. I do. You know what that information is? Guess what that information is? From my family. See, that's how retarded you was. You forgot this was my family. And guess what information I got? Guess what information I got? It was a rumor in the family that I slept with his wife. That's the information I got that you don't know nothing about. Were you told that? You was not told that. Was you told that? Now you see how stupid you look. You didn't know this, did you? Yeah, let that sink in a little bit for you. Changes the whole opinion of the situation and what it really is, don't it? Because if you tell me that it's a rumor in your family that you slept with your brother's wife, I'm gonna say, well, this is probably what this is all about. That's what he mad about. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. Oh, that's what he mad about right there. Boom, right there, buddy, on a silver platter, right there. Right there on the silver platter. Why you talking about what? What else? What you talking about? See what I'm saying? See? You see what I'm talking about? You was way over there in left field, bruh. You was way over there in left field talking about something reckless. Don't even know what you talking about. Then you talk to the person that's connected to the family. He talking to other family members about the same person. Not nobody else. This person. Right? I can see if it was a room in the family that he made up that I slept with somebody else's wife in the family. Something like that, right? No, his wife. The same person you talking about. His wife. That's what it was all about. So we don't care nothing about any information he talking about. Whether it's about me and him, me and some other people in my family. No, we don't care nothing about none of that. Because we know that you are mad because you felt he slept with your wife. That's what it's all about. See, it hit different. Oh, maybe I got to use a different gender change. Maybe you're biased towards gender. So let me change the gender. If there was two sisters, you see where I'm going with this? If there was two sisters and one of the sisters came out to the community against the other sister, but then as time went by, you actually caught up to the other sister. The other sister tells you that there was a rumor in their family against her that she slept with her sister's husband. It sounds a little more emotional because it's women. You see that part already? But it's the same thing. That's what I'm trying to show you. If you heard that a sister created a rumor in the family, you see what I'm talking about, right? You see the danger. You see all of that with a woman. That's why I'm smart enough to show you another gender to wake you up. The sister finds out there's a rumor in the family that the sister is saying that the other sister slept with her husband. If you heard that between two sisters, this is what you heard between two sisters, and a family member volunteered. I didn't ask about this. The sister received this information because another family member volunteered this information, which I don't know how long before that person volunteered that information to me, how long the rumor was in the family. I didn't even ask that. How long this has been said. But I assume it was about a couple years. It wasn't yesterday. If she just said it casually, it probably wasn't yesterday, bruh. If a sister told me that that one of her family members volunteered information to her that it's a rumor in the family that she slept with her sister's husband, you telling me that's not powerful enough of information to create the whole motive behind everything that happened? You don't think a sister would do all this stuff if she thought her sister slept with her husband? So she just letting that go. It's something else going on. Does that make sense to you? It ain't that. It's something else. Why would it be something else and you ain't been said nothing about something else? You ain't been said nothing about nothing else. But we find out relevantly, if you will, we find out relevant information is that you think your sister slept with your husband. That's the relevant information. And you telling me we ain't gonna think that's what this is all about? So it ain't got nothing to do with that. Boy, you silly as they come, man. You silly as they come. If I find out through listening to two situations that another family member, this is another person, not this person feeling that that's what this is about. No, someone confirming that this is what this is about. I can see if I said, I think this is what this is about. No, a family member talked to me and told me that there was a rumor in the family. Just told me, just like, I'm like, oh, okay. Huh? This person telling me this. Oh, it's a rumor in the family that you slept with his wife. What? Wow, I ain't never been around this woman 30 minutes in a room. Me and her ain't never been in a room together longer than 30 minutes. Ever in our life. That's the information I'm gonna listen to. Oh, well, hold up. He ain't never even been in a room with this woman over 30 minutes alone by themselves for no reason. Like my brother got to go somewhere and his car broke down. Somewhere you might be in a room with somebody. Like if you really family, me and her never, in spite of my brother being wherever he was at and him being around us, me and her were never in a room together for 30 minutes together by ourselves. Never. Never. Well, so but yeah, I get accused because you just a jealous man. You know the type. Just thinking about stuff that ain't true, just assuming stuff because of her, not me. It's her behavior. It ain't my behavior that make you feel that way. It's her behavior. Yeah, that part. Where you don't really trust her because maybe she got wandering eyes. Oh, well, most men know if their wife got wandering eyes. And that's the worst thing you can have as a female being with a man is wandering eyes, because men know if you got wandering eyes, if you looking at people and you know what I'm saying, a little longer than you're supposed to be, you know, that's the worst thing. Maybe she got wandering eyes, man. And you know, you just became paranoid about everybody to the point where you just made up stuff about me and her. And my thing is this, man, I wasn't even around that woman. That's what I'm trying to show you. I was on the opposite side of town. Listen, God knows that's the truth, bro. I was on the opposite side of town. That's what make it so bad. When he was with her, I was on the east side. He was on the west side. I was on the east side of town. I was in East Charlotte with my woman. I had a woman. It just no excuse, bro. The whole time that he was with that girl, I had women, more than one, plural. It don't, listen, imagine me being with my women, but then I'm on the other side of town, especially if you're from Charlotte. It's gonna be like that. Don't even add up. You on the east side of town. I'm on the east side of town. You on the west side of town. I got women on the east side of town. Imagine me coming to the west side of town, West Charlotte, to be with your woman, and cause y'all on the west side. Charlotte people gonna say, nah, that don't even sound right. You gotta live in certain cities to know how stupid that sounds. For me to be on the east side of Charlotte and to come on the west side of Charlotte, and I got women. Remind you, she lives with him. So when did me and her be together? When? How? How, bruh? I got women. We was drinking alcohol. I wake up slow every next day. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just being transparent. At that time, I'm drinking. My women kept alcohol. I stayed tipsy. Bottles. I was with women with money. I'm drinking bottles, 4 Locos. If I ain't got, man, I don't get out the bed too early. Now imagine me with that lifestyle like that, coming across town out the bed of my woman at some point in place of time, whatever time that could have been. I don't know when that could have been a time. With my festivities of drinking and being with my women, I can't tell you. I mean, see, I got accused of something that's totally out of character, man. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. Cause of people being paranoid, and you don't really have no experience with women. That's the truth. And so when you realize your woman is not as faithful as you thought, or she's not like you would want her to be, because that's what you're gonna find out about women. You want to blame me. You want to think I had sex with her. That's the fear that's the normal fear of a jealous man. You gonna think, everybody around you gonna think one of them had sex with your woman and ain't nobody done nothing. That's what it is. That's what it is. Ain't nobody, man, listen, man, no, nothing happened. Man, listen, I don't even think I gave her a hug in my life. I might have. I don't remember. Me and her had no physical contact. I don't remember shaking a hand, nothing. I don't remember none of that. I'm just being honest, man. And for me to get accused, I feel some type of way, bro. You'll be mad too. You would be mad too. Him all out of character all the time, everything. But the bottom line is this, bro. When she was in Charlotte, I never thought nothing about that woman. That's safe as it gets. When she was in Charlotte, I never had no thoughts about her. When you was with her the whole time, I ain't think nothing about that woman. From the time she left Charlotte, because you kicked her out your house, I wasn't thinking nothing about her. She left, right? In June 2012. So from the time she came there to June 2012, I thought nothing about her. And that's facts. Now, when you make a man mad, you and him, okay, then he gonna take jabs at you. But I can say honestly, while she was there in Charlotte, I thought nothing about her, bro. And that's facts. That's facts, bro. That's all I need. That's thoughts, right? That's thoughts. Keep in mind, nothing happened between me and this woman. So, man, that's your pathetic position. And see, you gonna try to save face for that, to try to make me fit this narrative like I did something I ain't do. Nah, I ain't had, no. I ain't had sex with that woman. And to be truthful, man, I had women at the time. That's all I'm saying. I had women at the time. That's all I'm saying. I had women, more than one, but I want yours. Man, come on, stop playing with me. See, he was raised by my stepfather. I'm gonna tell you something that you wouldn't know. I was raised really by my grandmother. You know, and my dad was there, you know what I'm saying? My mom was there. But I kind of basically was raised, you know, my pedigree comes from my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? My brother was raised by his father, my stepfather. He didn't raise me. He didn't do anything to raise me. He didn't install anything in my mind that I can look at today and say I learned that from my stepfather. I can show you all kind of things today that I learned from my grandmother. So my grandmother basically raised me. I learned how to drive a car from my grandmother. I learned how to cook from my grandmother. I even learned how to fish from my grandmother. I didn't even learn fishing from my stepfather. You know what I'm saying? But him and my brother, he helped my brother more than he helped me. Even my first wife noticed it. She noticed it because I was married and my stepdad had a car, a truck. That truck that my brother had, he was decided between me and my brother if I should have the truck or who should have the truck. That wasn't just given to him. He didn't work for it or nothing. I was a married man. And my wife even spoke up. You a married man. Your stepdad was supposed to give that car to you. No matter if he felt like you was going to throw it to the dogs or whatever he felt, he still was supposed to give you that car. My wife spoke up and said that. I ain't even really care about it. But she noticed it. She noticed that. She said something about it. You should have had, you're married. You should have had that car. He wasn't even married. He wasn't even doing nothing. So between me and my wife, if you thought I wasn't responsible enough to fix up the car, between me and my wife, you don't think my wife gonna help me fix the car? And she working and she got money. He didn't think about that. He didn't, and I already got I got a driver's license. He wasn't thinking. Couldn't say I didn't have a driver's license. I had a driver's license. Okay, so then boom, why you won't take a chance on giving me a car and I got a family and I got a wife and he don't? My brother didn't even have a wife at the time. Okay, so my point is this. I wasn't tripping off that at all. I celebrated him when he fixed the car up, the truck up or whatever and everything. Listen, bro, I had no hang-ups about it. I didn't feel no certain type of way about it. My wife voiced her opinion more about it than I did. You see what I'm saying? She voiced her opinion about it more than me. I was like, you know, whatever. I didn't care. I didn't really care. You know, even when it got fixed up, I promise you, God knows, I ain't have no jealousy, no hate or nothing. Even though I needed that car more out of necessity because I had a wife. You see what I'm saying? Imagine me having a wife and him just being, you know, just being there at his mom's house. Didn't even gotta have his own place or nothing. And they just give him a car and he living there with them. But I'm living in Florida with my wife. I need a car. You know what I'm saying? So then you can see right there, man, you know, it wasn't really no love towards me. Even when I needed it, my stepdad was a mechanic. He didn't even try to give me a car. He didn't even try to fix up me a car. Other family member noticed that. Carvin, my mom's cousin. He came to my door one day. This is when they wasn't even there. So he came to the house. I might have been like 17 at the time. So my cousin, which was an older cousin, like he was in his 30s, right? Like one of them type of cousins. So he was like, he just asked around. He was like, man, your dad ain't got you a car yet? I was like, nah. He's like, he ain't got you no kind of car. He ain't talking about getting you no kind of car. I'm like, nah. I'm standing at the front door talking to him at the front door. You know, he just catching up, just trying to size things up for where it's at in the house, how it is in the house. He was like, yo, he ain't got you no kind of car or nothing. He said, and guess what he said? Yo, tell your dad I said hello. Which means my real biological dad. Like, that ain't even your daddy. And he was around, his wife was from New York. So that was like a New York punchline. I get it now. He said, yo, tell your dad I said hello. As to say, that ain't your daddy, bruh. So so somebody else formed that opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, think about it. If you got a mechanic daddy, your father, your stepdad is a mechanic. He got 2, 3, 4 cars around the house. He don't even take the time to fix your car. I had a car. I had a Cadillac, right? I had an '83 DeVille Cadillac, 4-door DeVille. Okay? This is how you know my brother loved me. He the one bought it. My brother bought me a car. What would you feel? You gonna listen to these people out here, or you gonna go with your history? You gonna go with your history. See, they clowns. Them are corny people out there. If I break down my history and me and him was good, it's gonna be suicide for you. Because I'm gonna have so much normal history to pull from. That show, okay, he was cool right here, cool. He bought him a car. My brother bought me a car. A Cadillac. I had a 1983 gray Cadillac DeVille. Right? He bought that from my stepdad because he had cars all around. This is what I'm saying. The only thing that was wrong with the car is that it wasn't aligned right, which means the axle wasn't aligned right on the car. That's why I was sitting in the first place, probably. Don't you know, as a mechanic, he did not even fix the axle on the car after my brother bought it from him? You would think a real man would say, okay, since he brought this car from me, for his brother, I'm gonna fix the car because he gave me money for it. My brother gave him money for it. Don't you know he took the money and didn't even fix the car? The car was a lemon from the beginning because the axle wasn't fit on it. So you just took money off a broke car. And you a mechanic that takes pride in fixing everybody else's car. But he didn't even lift a finger. Literally, he did not even lift a finger to fix that car. It was broke from the day one. But my brother bought it for me. So that tells you what our relationship was. How he gonna be against me and he buy me a car? So I had a Cadillac. That's what I had. I washed it up, took pride in it, everything. But I couldn't drive it because the axle was on the car was not aligned. That's how I was told. Like the steering was off. The steering wheel, the axle, everything, that was off. Okay, if you take money, if a mechanic takes money for me to have the car, and that's your stepfather, don't you think, and then that's your car, that's your first car, that's your only car, right? Wouldn't you think he'd be glad to fix it, being that he a mechanic with cars? Wouldn't he be glad to fix it for your son? Didn't lift a finger for it, bruh. You tell me what that means. I wind up selling the car off and getting money. I sold it. My brother bought it and I sold it. I sold the car, let the jump man come, put him, called him, he gave me bread right up front, boom. And see, I'm the same servant I am now. I took that money and put it in God's church. I put it in the kingdom of God. Like I do now, I was doing it then. That's why I never failed. That's why I always survived. I took the money from the car and put it in the church. All of it. Junk man paid me cash right up front. Boom. I took all that money and put it in the church. So that's what happened. So then my point is that, and then that my brother, that was his dad, not mine. That wasn't my father. A father is someone who fathers you, bro. Like, they lead you along the way and help you along the way. He never really did that. And that's a perfect example. That's the perfect example. And even before that, like I told you, my cousin Carvin, which was really close to them at one time, he was around my mom's and dad, in my mom's age, right? He once he realized a mechanic didn't buy me a car, all he sit around and talked about what kind of car I liked. Yeah, he like this. He like long Cadillacs. I like Cadillacs, right? So he telling them, oh yeah, he like them long Cadillacs. Yeah, he sitting back telling other people that. That part, I heard him one time in front of other people, like, yeah. He like them, like he gonna be the one, look like he my father looking out for me. Man, come on, man. He come out to be a person that never even lift a finger to fix me a car. A up and running car where it was easy. This is a person that had all kind of connections to get cars. He was that type of person. Hey, he had like 4 or 5 cars at one time. You ain't gonna ever fix up a car for your son. But he did it for my brother. You see what I'm saying? See, slowly but surely, that's what he did. And that's his father, not mine. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So that shows you how it was. You know. My brother was mad about a woman. That's what he was mad about. You know what I'm saying? You can't let nobody fool you, man. You know, it was plenty of opportunities for my stepdad to get me a car, to motivate me to get me a car. He can't blame that all on me. Nah. The only way you can blame that on me if I gave you a car that was running and you ain't do nothing with it. Right or wrong? Okay, I gave you a car. You could have got a tag. I would have helped you get the tag. We ain't even get to them levels. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen. I'm going to tell you what my stepdad did. He apologized for neglecting me and my brother. He apologized in 2014. That's why he gained some type of redemption. Because he knew it was coming. Because once you're an older man, your eyes become open. Your eyes become open. You realize he failed me. He wasn't there for me. So once I got back from LA, from Los Angeles, right? He apologized for not being there for me. He said, "Oh man, I'm sorry, man. You know, because I grew up, and now you see a grown man in front of you. Now it's an elephant in the room that makes you feel like you need to say something. See, when you're younger, they don't feel they need to say nothing to you. You become a grown man, you move around a lot. Now you know it's an elephant in the room between me and you that you really wasn't never there. So he beat me to it before I could even really smash him and destroy him." For failing me, you know, he just went ahead and bowed out, said, you know, "I'm sorry, man. You know, he told me this to my face. My stepfather, I'm sorry. You know, I wasn't really there. We was partying. That's what he said. And they were. Him and my mom was smoking weed, my mom was doing cocaine. He was smoking weed and cocaine. And they was drinking all the time. Beers all the time, you know, and they wasn't focused at all. All they did was, which most ghetto families do, they make sure you got some food, they make sure you go to school. That was it. That ain't raising no child. Making sure they go to school and making sure they get some food. So I learned everything from my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? That's why I broke free from that family, because my grandmother was part English. I'm pretty sure she was English. You know what I'm saying? And I learned everything from her. You know what I'm saying? I learned everything from her, man. And so he failed me. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying? His dad was my stepdad. That was never my father. He was the one that helped him get the house and everything. He helped him get the house too. All of that stuff, the house, the car, everything, my stepdad helped him do that. He didn't do none of that. That was not his own efforts. My stepdad found a program to get him the house. None of that was his own efforts. None of it. So I don't give you I'm just being 100. I don't give you no credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Your stepdad gave you the car. You fixed it up. You might have jazzed it up a little bit. It was paid for, you know, and the house, you know, your stepdad, being out here in the world, he helped you get the house. It was none of your efforts. That's why he lost everything, because it wasn't his work ethic really that made him get any of that stuff. Whether it was his car, his house, everything, he lost everything, because he didn't have the backbone to produce that in the first place. And that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? But that takes you back how it was in our family. When I was married before he was. My wife seen how my brother was treated over me in that family. You can't listen to none of them over there. You can't listen to none of them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I knew stuff about the family that nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? I knew stuff that nobody never really knew. You know what I'm saying? And I held people's secrets and everything, and they didn't remain loyal to me. You know, that's just how it was. My mom should have been loyal to me because I just knew too much about her secrets. You know, things that only me and her know. You know what I'm saying? And when the time came for her to be loyal to me over my brother, she didn't do it. That's why I left. That's why I don't have nothing to do with my mom. I expect her to know that. I don't have to tell you that. If you know I was loyal to you and you wouldn't have made it nowhere without me, you wouldn't have made it. That's how, and she'll never say that because she'll think I'm being arrogant. But if you cheated on your husband and I'm the only one that know, my brother didn't even know, and you hiding your letters of your lover, it's love behind it too. You hiding the letters that he got you in my bedroom, in a little under them little TV cabinet type of things back in the day. My mom was hiding the letters between her and her lover in my room because my stepdad would never suspect it. He ain't gonna go in my room looking for nothing. So she used to hide the letters. That's what my brother don't know. She used to hide the letters in my room. So, and she brought that man into their house. That's the worst thing. That's what could have got you killed right there. You bring him into your house, his house, when my stepdad paid bills? You bring another man into the house? That's unforgivable, man. That's unforgivable. It's one thing to do something out there in the streets, but when you bring a man to the house to meet your kids, I met him. I met the dude. That's even worse. Like I met him and everything. I expect you to be loyal to me when I'm the only one that knew that. And I held that secret for decades. Me and my stepdad smoking weed together, drinking together. I never folded. I never told him nothing. And then when the time came for you to be loyal to me, when my brother was mad about his wife, I expected you to stand with me because you know the secret that me and you hold about your lover. And if I had told, you wouldn't have made it because he too jealous. It would have been one thing if he was a swinger or something, like Diddy, and he ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? My stepdad was so jealous, ain't no way in the world my mom would have made it. He would have threw us all out the house because he was paying all the bills. He wouldn't have, no. She, everybody know it was an ongoing joke how jealous my stepdad was. He was so jealous, man. It was an ongoing joke. My mom's family, the men in her family and her sisters knew how jealous her husband was. Now imagine him finding out that you brought a man to his house where he paid bills, not where you really pay bills, where he paid bills, where he making love to you, and you bring a man in that house to meet his children, to meet your children. He met me. Now that's even more personal. I'm paying bills for this woman and her kids, and some other dude that came in the house, and in my house, and done met the kids and everything. And he keeping letters and she got letters that she's keeping in one of the oldest son's room. He in the house. He in there sleeping with the letters in the room. I ain't tell him nothing in my whole life. That's now tell me that's not loyalty. I could have easily burnt her up long time ago. I could have did it from day one. If I was stupid, I'm the type of person, I held somebody's secret, cheating on somebody. That's unforgivable. And I had to live with that. I had to be around him like, man, he don't even know. He don't even know. My mom done cheated on him. I'm like, man. And then the older you get, you kind of, to be real, you kind of side with a man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and people can see that too. So that's why my mom was always cautious about me and my dad hanging out. My stepdad, right? She was always cautious because she don't know if that was going to come up. But then once they kind of did something on their own, like he got to be with another woman, that then she won. Because all she going to do is hold it against him. That, hey, you slept with somebody else too. So that's how she won. Well, she let him sleep with somebody else. I'm just being real with you, how it happened. Once you let me sleep with somebody else, it's broke. We both did it. And either way it go, technically speaking, you both did it. So he could be mad for a moment, but he gonna think we both did it. So that's how she beat him. That's how she beat the whole situation. But she wouldn't have made it to that point if I had told him. So then you still gotta thank me for all the years you had with him. Me. Cause we know how jealous this man was. He might have did something to her. He might have would have hurt her. One time he told me he wanted to kill her. My stepdad told me he wanted to kill my mama. This is the kind of stuff I had to hold inside. Let's talk about it. Well, this dude talking about killing my mom, and I gotta still interact with this person. I'm sitting back thinking, man, you know what I'm saying? Do I do something to this dude? Do I just look at it like they so close, that's the kind of situation they got? You know what I mean? He telling me, cause see, this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. See, 2014 was the year that it all hit the fan in that family. Everything hit the fan. As far as outside of me, I was in LA, I came back, everything hit the fan in that family. Nobody was together. My stepdad wanted to go kill my brother. He wanted to kill my brother. He was confiding in me, and this is the stuff I had to deal with. So when me and my brother talk, I was like, yeah, man, he wants you, buddy. He wants you. Yeah, he wanted to kill you. He told me many times that he wanted to go right up there because he was only like less than a quarter mile from where my brother lived. He got guns. He got plenty of guns, right? So it ain't like it's an empty threat. He was like, man, you know, he telling me this, me and him one-on-one, because me and him used to drink and smoke together a lot, right? Okay, so especially drinking together. So I'd be sitting around drinking with him, you know what I'm saying? We got to that level, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had just came from LA, you know what I'm saying? So my vibe was more probably outside the family and easy more to confide in because I wasn't really like the family and I wasn't caught up in the problems. You feel me? So, you know, he was like confiding in me and was telling me like, yo, man, plenty of times I wanted to just go up there and kill him. He told me this, like, I wanted to go up there and kill him. You know what I'm saying? He said he cried about it. He felt like he one of them men that he didn't even want to cry. So he told me, you know, I cried about it. I went to church, but I just wanted to I still wanted to kill him. That's basically what he told me. Now, mind you, I'm sitting back just listening. Mind you, my brother's already jealous about his wife. I didn't think that he held that aside against me when his wife was attracted to me. That's going on too. Keep that in mind. Okay, that energy's in the air too. That he think I slept with his wife. Little did I know, you know, I'm on the outside. I know I ain't done it, but he's suspecting it. So he done started making moves against me behind my back, thinking I slept with his wife. That's in the air too. Put that in the air too. In 2014. That's why I told you that's when it all hit the fan for that whole family. That's been about 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know a point when if you really are a family-oriented person, you could point to the time when your family hit the fan. It just went to hell. It couldn't come back. Some families can't come back. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you talk about, you know, the family element and all whatever, it just can't come back. So I'm just going down into the politics of this whole situation, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my stepdad was telling me like, yo, I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to go up there and kill him a whole bunch of times. He said, I thought about it a whole bunch of times, just going up there to kill him. And then he changed after that. And then I went through stuff with my brother. And then he didn't relate to me. I couldn't confide in him. But at the time when he wanted to kill my brother, I just sit there, you know, and I felt him. You know what I'm saying? You know, but when the time came when my brother did me dirty, you know what I'm saying? He just acted like I was being unreasonable and everything. That's your brother and everything. Yeah, but at the same time, it's the same person that wanted to kill the same person. So you should have been able to relate to me in the time when I went through something with this person. So anyway, on another situation, this is the time he wanted to kill my mother, my stepdad, right? Crazy stuff, right? So I already told you that my stepdad wanted to kill my brother. He also wanted to kill my mother. I'm probably the only one he ain't have no deep thoughts about killing, but maybe he did. I don't know. But you know, he had, there was one time I had to check. We'll talk about that. So my stepdad basically he has wanted to kill everybody in the house at one time, at some point in time. My stepfather, at some point in time, wanted to kill everybody in the house at a different place in time. Not, I want to kill everybody, and it's just emotional. No, he had a time when he wanted to kill me, my mother, and my brother in different places in time. So with my mom, the time he wanted to kill my mom was when my brother and my stepdad got in a fight. So he explained the fight. I wasn't there. Mind you, I'm the out-of-state brother. I'm the out-of-state family member. You know them type. I hear everything because I'm on the outside. It's almost like an oxymoron. I'm on the outside, but I hear everything. I know about everything going on. Everybody want to confide in me, but I'm on the outside. So I was that type of family member. I was in and out of town, and you know, and at face value, it looked like I was enjoying my life, and I was just going to see in the world. And you know, and people, when I came back in, people confided in me about whatever was going on. You know, so my stepdad told me like one time. He told me the story. One time, him and my stepbrother was fighting, and about the fight, and they was arguing and everything. And my mom pulled the knife on my stepdad for my brother, and he felt it broke his heart because she defended my brother over her husband. He pulled a knife on him. She pulled a knife on him to defend my brother. See, her and my brother, that's who she loves. She loves him more than me, my stepdad, and me. You know what I'm saying? So I bowed out gracefully. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell me. I'm going to look at history. I'm going to look at that's what I'm going to look at. Because you ain't going to admit it. So I'm going to just go with what your heart has done over the years. And that's going to tell me everything. You know, so she pulled a knife on my stepdad because they was about to fight. My stepdad told me the whole story. So he was like, I almost wanted, when she had the knife pulled on him, he was like, I almost wanted to take the stick, like the stab, and break her neck. That's what he told me. He said, I almost wanted to take the stick and break her neck. That's how he told me. That's the exact terminology he used. I almost wanted to take the stick and break her neck and kill her. That's what he told me. You know what I'm saying? So me being loyal to my mom, I held that secret. I held it for a while. You know what I'm saying? I held that for a while. Him talking about he wanted to kill my mother. You know, I held it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like they were so close in everything. Those kind of feelings could happen. You know what I'm saying? From being so close. And it's true. That could happen. And some men will tell you, yeah, I thought about killing my woman. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, me as a mature man getting older, I sympathize more with my stepdad as I got older. You know what I'm saying? Not just being biased towards my mom because she's my biological mom and he's my stepdad. As I got older, I began to balance out as far as how I judge things, between them. Because I'm going to look at it from a man's perspective too, as I got older. Because at that point, I had already been married. So think about it. You've been a married man, you're going to kind of be, you ain't going to be biased towards a man, but you're going to hear a man out. You know what I'm saying? Because you done been in that situation. So yeah, he told me that he wanted to kill her at one time. He told me. So I'm like, I don't know how long I held this secret. Almost until probably since I went to the time I left. Again, right before I went out again to go to another city. And I think I told my mom, I was like, I don't feel that it's safe for you to be with him because he told me he wanted to kill you. I had to tell her. I was like, I feel like he wanted to kill you. I told her the whole story, how he said he wanted to take the stick and break her neck, whatever. And I was telling her, I don't feel like it's safe for you to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she just brushed it off like, well, I'm just just kind of like that. And so I'm like, okay, and I guess she knew how serious to take it or whatever, or maybe she didn't care. Some people just don't care, especially when they live with you a certain amount of time and you done took most of their life, they don't even care. So what happens? So that's the time he wanted to kill my mom. I already told you about the time he wanted to kill my brother. From all the time they was fighting each other, physical fights. And, he got the ego of a man, a real man, because he paid bills, he works. So some men, you can't fight and cross because they got so much manhood. It comes with an ego that you can't crush. You know what I'm saying? Because they do too much for you to crush their ego. I give it to him. He did a lot. He did everything. And when you step on a real man's ego that pay bills and do everything, it's a deadly situation because, you're doing everything. How dare somebody disrespect you? So it was that type of situation. So he wanted to kill my brother at one time. Now, the time he said something to me, I think that was influenced by my brother because it just didn't add up between me and him at all. So me and him was smoking weed in the car one day, right? In his car. So we had a habit of, he put his car in the garage and, every night, right? And we would smoke weed in his car. Just listen to music and smoke weed, smoke a blunt, go back in the house. So me and him was smoking one day. It was daytime. I remember it was daytime. So I don't know how this came up. Oh yeah. Like we was talking about something about responsibilities, because I'm living there with him. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I done been out a million times. You don't gotta explain to me what life is about. But he wanna try to play daddy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we smoke weed, this is why I didn't like. Sometimes if I didn't like smoking with him, this was the reason why. Because when me and him smoke weed, he want to play dad. You know what I'm saying? And try to talk to me about things and what I should be doing. He's forcing the conversation. Like I'm not trying to have this conversation, but he's forcing this conversation where he want to sit back and smoke and be daddy. You feel me? But me and you really smoking like homies. You ain't never really been there for me. And that's kind of so we got this dysfunctional homie kind of relationship, and you really are not my father, and you didn't really father me, so you just be glad we cool with each other, so we like smoking really like homies, but he trying to play daddy, telling me what to do and what I should do and all of this, and that's how the friction came in that conversation. So for whatever, I don't think that was the only thing that influenced him to say this, but he said to me, while we high now, we high, right? And my stepdad ain't never had no bad weed. The weed was always good, right? So me and him high, and he like, I could kill you or I could let you go. Now think about that. You high. You with your stepdad. You know this dude got guns too. And y'all just chilling and y'all high, but we all having a conversation as I'm a real man now. I done been out in the world. I done been to LA, everywhere. I'm like in my 30s. I'm like 33 years old at the time. So I'm like, that's how old I was. So I'm like, so we had some friction about some words about whatever, like being high. We talking like, that's the worst time for somebody to try to tell you about what you need to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? From a parent's point of view, and a condescending parent point of view. But he couldn't control, but that's where he wasn't that bright enough to where, okay, we high, but like, don't try to be a dad while we high. Save it, man. Save it for another time. You know what I'm saying? Because when people are high, that's when stuff gets started. You know what I'm saying? Two people high, you know what I'm saying? Ego come into play and everything like that. I don't even remember what all was said. I don't really remember, but I know I stood on what I felt as a man, and I done been out on my own or whatever. But I guess because he felt I was there, I ain't have no place to tell him about nothing about what I'm doing or who I am or whatever, right? So I said what I said. I guess he didn't realize I grew up. That's what it was. And I just kind of was more heavy-handed because I lived out on my own. I was independent. So I talk like an independent person. And I think, you know them type of men that can't handle their children growing up and talking to you as a grown man. I think it was that moment he knew I was a man, right? But he took it flipped around where he said something crazy. So he was like, I could kill you or I could let you go. Just like that. And some people would say he got a demon. He just said this out of nowhere. It wasn't that I was saying something to him. It wasn't that I was threatening him on a physical level or nothing. This is kind of dysfunction I went through. So he was like, I could kill you, I'll let you go. I'm sitting right beside this dude. Some people could have started punching him right there in the face. I mean, a straight up criminal start punching you right in your face, man. But I'm just like, what? I said, man, I said what I supposed to say as a servant of God. I said, man, God is on my side. I just said, that's what I said to him. I said something back. I ain't sit there and just sit there. I ain't never been that type of person. The first time I fought my stepfather, I was 17 years old. I was the first one that fought him. I ain't never been no weak little boy. That's why I be tripping on people. I'm one of them kids that fought my stepfather physically. You know what I'm saying? When I was 17 years old, I was taking kicks from him and everything. He holding me down, and I was 17 years old when I fought my stepfather. And we never was the same after that. I think that's what happened. Like once me and him fought that one time, it never happened again. Me and him had an understanding. He knew how real I was and crazy I was. Cause I threw like an ashtray. I threw this big, like this clay ashtray. I don't know how I missed him. Bro. Cause if I would have hit him with that, he probably would have knocked out. He probably would have fell out. Cause it was like one of them old school clay ashtrays, right? And so he said something to me or whatever, or something like that. He was always crass with how he talked, and it can rub people the wrong way if you misinterpret it. You know, you either could take it or you could choose not to. And sometimes I chose not to take it. So like, I took an ashtray and tried to throw it and hit him in the head with it. Like I threw it right at his head. You know what I'm saying? So he already knew how crazy I was from that moment forward, and me and him had an understanding. You know what I'm saying? He never crossed me, and I never felt the need to cross him. I was spitting on him and everything, and yeah, I spit in his face. I spit right in his face. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, but yeah, I spit right in his face. Yeah. Yeah. Then he tried to spit back in my face. That's how it was. You know what I'm saying? So I think once I spit in his face, And once I did that, I think that was the end of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? He was cool. He was always kind of cool throughout the years, but it wasn't like that real vibe between me and him. We smoked together, everything, but it wasn't like it was. You know what I'm saying? But so that time when I first fought him the first time, my brother walked with me to my grandmother's house. That's the first time I walked to my grandmother's house from my house. My mom just told me to leave. Just leave. Just leave. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to be kicked out on the streets or whatever. But I got in a fight with him, and we was out in the yard and everything. We was still fighting out in the yard. And it spilled out to out in the yard. It was in the house, but then it spilled out to out in the yard. And my brother was the one that walked to me, with me. He was on my side. See, this is how loyal my brother was. He walked with me from my mom's house to my grandmother's house. We walked there on foot because it was that was like a life-changing situation. I was just amped up. So me and my brother walked literally to my grandmother's house. He just walked with me like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm on your side. So see, that's how loyal my brother was to me. When that happened, we left, we both walked away. And then he grew up, he started fighting my stepdad just like I did. He went through the same dysfunction. We both was fighting him, you know what I'm saying? I fought him one time and he knew how crazy I was. I think that's what it was. Because once I spit in his face, I definitely did that. And I kind of forgot about it. I think I spit straight in his face, like in his eye, like all in his eye, like that, like a big old hawk spit all in his eye. I think I remember that, but I definitely spit on him. You know what I'm saying? I think, and then I throwing that ashtray at him. I think that's what did it. Like he knew I would take objects and throw objects, dangerous objects and everything like that. Once he knew I was like that, he never too much try to push up on me like ever again. I think it take one time for people to know how crazy I am. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin, that's why my brother could never face me. You would wonder why he wouldn't do nothing himself. Cause he knew how crazy I was, man. That's why he ain't gonna try me. He ain't gonna try me. He knew how crazy I was. That's what you ever ask yourself why, if it's your family, why you didn't take care of that yourself? You ever thought about that? Why my brother didn't take care of that himself? Cause he ain't had the balls to do that. That's why. He knew. They know. Listen. He know I'm crazy. He seen it. He see me fighting my stepdad, all kind of stuff. And he know enough information to know that. You know what I'm saying? He know that, man. He know that. That's why he couldn't face me. That's why anytime he see me, he ain't gonna ever be on no energy that he acting like he on behind closed doors. He ain't gonna be on that. He already know what time it is. Ain't nothing fabricated, bro. It ain't nothing fabricated. I think the first way my brother knew I wasn't playing no games, he stuck his finger up at me one time as a kid. Boy, I rushed him and boom, hit him with an uppercut right in his eye. He had a bloodshot eye. He had blood in his eye for like weeks and weeks. He knew from that punch I wasn't playing any game. I hit him one time. I didn't keep hitting him. I hit him once. I rushed him because he stuck his finger up at me. We was arguing or whatever, and then my grandmother came between me and him, and she shouldn't have been in no situation like that, but we was bad kids. But she wasn't like standing in between us. She was probably trying to just shout us down to make us stop arguing. So when I was walking away, he stuck his finger up. When he did that, I rushed him, boom, hit him right in the eye. He had a bloodshot eye for like weeks and weeks and weeks. So then that's why my brother won't try me. He know better. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I didn't do it because I was a bully. He stuck his finger up at me. Once he did that, I just lost it. I just rushed him. Boom. Like that. So that's when we had an understanding. We never fought after that throughout the years. And never again. He never tried me ever again, ever. And it wasn't because I was a bully. It was because even that, you sticking your finger up at me. I mean, you can't say I was a bully. Can't say I was a bully. I wouldn't have done that. I was walking away, and I was looking at him, and he stuck his finger. And when he did that, I just lost it. You know what I'm saying? I hit him one time, boom, that's it. I ain't keep hitting him. So that's the only fight we really had. You know, so I'm the only person that ain't never did nothing to my mom. My brother put hands on my mom. My brother, I used to defend her throughout the years because of how my brother used to talk to her. He used to talk to her reckless, man. Like, I ain't never even talked to her reckless. That's why I just bowed out gracefully. You know what I'm saying? I put my cards on the table, man. Somebody that put me through this kind of stuff, I can't talk to somebody that still deals with him. I can't. I go through all of this, and you're talking to the person that put me through this. He's the reason? That's not being real. I can't do that. I can't talk to somebody that's talking to that person that put me through this. Got people thinking all this crazy stuff, but we know what's really going on. Just like Pac said, you and I know what's going on. You mad because of a female. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all that irrelevant information. I don't care nothing about it. I know what it's all about. And see, and I know he ain't got the balls to confront me. The difference between me and him, when he actually did try to have sex with one of my women. He actually did try to have sex with one of my women. My woman showed me the text and everything. He couldn't deny it. He couldn't deny it. But me being the real man I am, mind you, I'd already been married by the time this happened. So when you become a married man, you got a backbone. You grow a backbone. You got to. You live with a real woman. You live with a woman. You gotta have a backbone, buddy. So I already had one. You know what I'm saying? I can confront people. You learn that from being with a woman. You gotta confront situations. That's real. So, you know, me and my brother, when I find out one of my women that's loyal to me brought me over to her apartment, not my wife, one of my girlfriends, right? She brought me to her apartment and showed me the text. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. This is like 2014. This is why I told you, this is when everything hit the fan in that family. My brother done text my wife, my girlfriend. So she done brought me over to the apartment and showed. She made sure she did it right though, because she was she decently classy woman. She a decently classy woman. She didn't tell me in the car, because I would have just been, you know, she just waited till I could see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? Without just talking about it, whatever, right? So then once we got to her apartment, her apartment, she showed me the text. Couldn't deny it. Couldn't deny it. Couldn't deny it. He couldn't deny it. So once I caught up with him, like almost 3 years later, that's how long it took for me to catch up with him. I confronted him in the streets outside my mom's house. I told him, I said, yo, man, Rebecca told me you tried to holler at her, you tried to talk to her, whatever, right? Me and him, mano a mano. This is the difference. He never confronted me about his wife. He ain't never tell me he thought I slept with his wife. He ain't never tell me that. That was his time to have told me that. When I confronted him about trying to have sex with one of my women, you know what he told me? Oh, I'm gonna make it up to you. This is what he told me. If you felt I slept with your wife, you would have felt that we was even. Not that I'm gonna make it up to you. If you felt like I victimized you in life, you would have felt like we're finally even. That's how you know it wasn't the spirit of victimizing, whatever he's talking about. Okay? Because if you did something to me that was significant, you would have felt we're even. If that was really in your heart, that you felt I victimized you, you would have felt, oh, okay, we even though. But he told me, oh, see, that's how you understand people's psychology and where they're really coming from. You listen to what they say, bro. Like you listen to when they speak from the heart. So he told me, oh, I'm gonna make it up to you. I confronted him about my woman. I had the manhood to do it. He never had the manhood to do it. So that gives you the difference between me and him. Okay, I can confront him on issues. He couldn't confront me on issues. Okay, so even about women, I confronted him about a woman. He couldn't confront me about one. At the same time, when I said that, he should have said, well, I think you slept with my wife. That's what he should have said right then. And I would have said, nah. I wouldn't have tripped about it. I would have said, what? Nah, that's crazy. I would have confronted that right then. He never even confronted me. Can you imagine the skeletons he got in his closet? When you knew you could have asked me face to face, did you sleep with my wife? Did you and her have something going on, man? Be honest with me. He had the opportunity. We were drinking together, smoking, everything. He had plenty opportunity, man. It's no excuse. That boy ain't got no manhood. And I don't know who to blame for it. Because at some point you gotta take responsibility for your own life, bro. That's the jungle. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit all your life and act like, okay, and harp on how somebody didn't raise you properly. You gotta get up and do something with your life. You gotta get up and raise yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you was a Christian, you should have been getting all the principles of life from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's no excuse. He was reading that Bible. You should have been getting all the principles for life in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So it's no excuse, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make no excuses in my life. This dude is the type of person that kind of insinuate other people destroy his life. But then, if we all did that, where would we be as humanity, man? We got to pick ourselves up and move on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a master at doing that. You can try whatever. I'm going to move on. I'm going to grow. I'm going to get out of every situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between me and him. Me and him are not twins. There's no comparison. He stayed at home all his life. I went all over the country. Me and him are not the same type of persons and individuals. When it comes to these females, I ain't losing no sleep over them. I dismiss them. I dismiss them like the last day of school. I dismiss them like the last day of school, buddy. You can use that for yourself. I dismiss them like the last day of school. You know what I'm saying? No coming back, in other words. I dismiss you and you don't come back, right? He and I are two different individuals. See, this was his first woman that really he connected with and loved and everything like that. And then she was attracted to your brother. It broke his heart. You see why I take the time to explain this? Because this is all the reason why you out here. You know what I'm saying? So but he know I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? See, what people didn't see about me is that, because I became a Christian, people might have thought I didn't fulfill my full potential with being crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Out in the streets and whatever, all the guns and everything. People think I ain't fulfilled my full potential with being crazy in the streets or whatever. But if you pay attention, you know what I'm saying? I groomed myself quite well. You know what I'm saying? I'm very refined with it. You know what I'm saying? My mom even know how I am, but I think because I became a Christian, she's so aware of that part of me, she might have just kind of forgot. Because my mom used to pray. I was so dark. My mom used to kneel down in my door of my room, in front of my door, and pray. She used to pray down at the base of my door in my room. She wouldn't knock on the door or nothing. She told me she used to bow her knees down and pray for me. That's how dark it was in my room. But that's why I didn't get the real confrontation from my brother. So out of all, you can look at my family as all of us being monsters. Everybody got their own monster, but I'm probably, ironically, the craziest out of all of them. But I just became a Christian and changed my life, and I refined who I was, but when it comes to really having a heart to really do stuff to people, man, that's gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? Out of my family, my household, that's gonna be me, definitely. You know what I'm saying? If people about that now, my brother now, because he frustrated with life. It's out of frustration. It's toxic. And then some people they got the heart to do stuff to other people. And that's gonna be more substantial as a mentality. Because them type of people, you know, my brother, he might get better and then he don't want to hurt nobody no more. Or he might not be that, you know, stand up for himself like, or do what he got to do. You know, but, so that's basically what that whole situation is about, man. That's what that's about. Now, like I said, my stepdad said that to me. I can kill you, I'll let you go. Then he apologized. This is what happened after that. He said, "Oh, God forgive me. God forgive me. God." He said it right there while I'm hiding, while we hide. "Oh, God forgive me. God, Lord forgive me." He probably knew listen, you ain't gonna play with God's servant. Even if I'm backsliding, smoking weed with you, I still belong to God, buddy. See, I know that. Some people are simple-minded, man. You know, they think you backslid and you ain't nothing no more. We could just step on you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he said that, he must have felt something. I don't know what he felt, but he said, "God forgive me. Oh, Lord, forgive me, forgive me." And this is a man with a whole ego. I mean, them type of dudes. Arrogant, everything. Prideful, all of that. But then when he said that about me, I'm like, what? I'm like, God on my side. So he was like, you know, "Oh, God forgive me, Lord forgive me, God forgive me." Like that, right? So that was the end of that. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no tension or nothing like that. But if I was a little older, man, you know, I might have would have resonated a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of still kind of young, fairly young. But if I was a little older, man, that might have resonated. I don't know how I would have responded. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have stayed in that house. You know, not after somebody say that something like that to me. So see, I expected my mom to be loyal to me because I held her secrets. You know what I'm saying? I know things. My brother knew about it because of me. He ain't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I know parts of that whole situation that my brother don't know, like the letters in my room. You know, so I could have easily just over the years even when my stepdad thought he was so bad, I could have crushed him with the truth. I could have said, "You know what? Your wife cheated on you." And just destroyed that whole family. I could have destroyed that family. If my brother would have done it. I could have destroyed him with the truth. But I didn't do that. I could have destroyed my mom with the truth. I didn't do that. So my point is, going down that rabbit hole was that I felt like my mom should have been loyal to me. When my brother was mad about a woman. You see what I'm saying? And one day, me and my stepdad smoking again together. This is another time. So we smoking again, and my mom is listening to the conversation. She eavesdropping on the conversation, and I'm smoking with my stepdad, and I'm telling him, based on all my brother did, I feel like he wronged me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking, I'm high. He was like, "What?" I said, "I feel like he wronged me." You know what I'm saying? By trying to have sex with one of my women. You know what I'm saying? So my mom came out there in the garage while we was high, talk about, "Well, nah, Tremaine told me something about her and all of this." Okay, but how you jump into his defense regardless? He tried to have sex with one of my women. How can you justify that? And this was a woman that met the family. Like my mom knew her. She came over for the holidays. That type of person. This wasn't no jump off. This wasn't no hoe that nobody didn't know. This was a woman that came to the house for the holidays. Out of all things. So she got to be a certain type of woman. She can't be no drama. You know what I'm saying? She can't be, you see what I'm saying? She came to the house even on the holiday when I wasn't even there. That's how close she was to my mom. She would come to the house when I wasn't there. For the holidays. One holiday she went there and was with the family on her own. So then my mom was trying to defend him, like as if my woman had something to do with what he did, and she didn't. My woman confided in him about me on the phone, and my brother, being a pathetic person, thought that meant that she was talking to him. It was room for him to talk to her because she was just confiding in him as a woman. Him being my brother on what she can do to make our relationship better. He took that as room for her to say he can talk to her. Just because she was talking to him. But all she was talking to him about was confiding how she can make my relationship better. She don't know what to do, etc., etc., woo, 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 right? That kind of stuff, which is normal for a woman to do, right? So a person like him, he think he a woman, a ladies' man, and he think so anytime a woman talk to him, he think it means that she likes him. Them type of dudes. That type, instead of just that was your brother's woman confiding in you about the relationship. That's all it was. And that's what my mom was pointing to for the reason why that situation happened when my brother tried to have sex with her. That didn't even have nothing to do with it. That's what she was referring to. That basically she confided in him one time, and she's sitting up there trying to defend his actions of trying to sleep with my woman based on my woman confiding in him about me. That don't mean nothing. They ain't have nothing to do with it. She just didn't want. She was so embarrassed that happened. Like it did, because she was a friend of the family. That's what made it so bad. So she was basically just trying to, this is how much she loved him. She was trying to save face for him when it didn't make no sense. Because if my woman was trying to holler at him, why would she show me the text of him trying to holler at her? It don't add up, bro. She was loyal to me. She told my brother, you must have think I don't love your brother. You must have thought I didn't love your brother. She told him that. And so I made her call him in front of me. And that's how, and he didn't know I was in the background. I did mine like a G, bro. I handled my situation with a woman like a G. I said, I want you to call him in front of me. Call him. And I want you to tell him you're with me. That's it. That's all I want you to do. So I sat back. She called. I was sitting there watching. I was listening. She said, yeah, I'm with Marcello. That's all. My brother's in that phone conversation with my woman, the woman he was trying to have sex with, she turned him down right there. He started cussing her out and talking about she ugly and everything. But you tried to have sex with her. Trying to save face because she said she was with me. So, I just kept it player though. You call him in front of me, and that was it. I ain't say nothing in the background like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do none of that. I ain't say nothing. He didn't even know I was there. In fact, he don't even know when she called him, I was there. He still don't know that day I was there. That's how you do it. You make your woman, if you want to prove loyalty, make her call him in front of you. That's what I did, buddy. It didn't take me a long time to think about it. It didn't take me a long time to think about doing that. Where I had to sit around a couple of days. Well, what should I do about it? You see what I'm saying? So see, that's how I fixed my situation. You know what I'm saying? So then I came back around, like I told you, and asked and told him what the situation was. Didn't tell him that I was in the background when she told him she was with me. I said, yo, yeah, Rebecca told me you were trying to talk to her, whatever. I ain't tell him that I was in the background when she called him and told him she was with me. He talking about, yeah, I'm gonna make it up to you for trying to holler at my woman. For him trying to holler at my woman, he talking about he gonna make it up to me. See what I'm saying? See, I check people, bruh. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? So when I have the same situation, I'm different. I'm gonna confront you, and you gonna say you gonna make it up to me. That's what you said. Okay, so man, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't take him seriously at all. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, two different animals. And maybe because you thought we came out the same womb, we was the same type of animal. We two different people, bro. We two different people. You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? This is why I got as far as I did in life. I've always been this kind of way. I've always been built for this. I've been from California. I left my mom's house when I was 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? I ain't built like these dudes right here in these secret societies, cripples. You know what I'm saying? You ain't leave home till you was like 30-some years old. You know what I'm saying? I know people ain't never left home. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to shame people, but you say, you know what I'm saying? You know, and them to be the same people put their mouth on you. You can't put your mouth on me if you ain't never left your mom's house. I left my mom's house when I was 18 years old, buddy. That's a parent's dream. For you to leave home at 18, it don't even matter if you fell back on hard times. You at least left home at 18. Now, whoever was there, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I wasn't there. You know, you could have enjoyed your life, in other words, you know, to the best of your ability, but it wouldn't be, listen, I wasn't there to stop you from enjoying your life. And then my timeline is I was always trying to leave. Anytime I went back to Charlotte, my mom didn't even want me to leave. I was the son she was trying to make stay in Charlotte. My brother, she had to get a restraining order to get him out her house. He put hands on her. I'm the only family member that never threatened my mother. My stepdad did it, my brother did it. I'm the only one that I wasn't never heavy-handed with her. I was never handed any feelings I got is because of her being loyal to my brother and wasting all this time being loyal to somebody that caused these problems. So really it's hate for him indirectly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been put hands on my mother. My brother, she told me herself, he pushed her physically. I don't know what, she said he pushed her like to push her on her shoulder, like push somebody. Like in an offensive way. It was an offensive way. He gonna say, he gonna trivialize it. She didn't trivialize it. Why she didn't trivialize it? Why my mom didn't trivialize it? She didn't trivialize it. She didn't act like it was nothing. She took the time to tell me. She took the time to talk about it to me. She didn't sound like it was nothing. She didn't trivialize it. I didn't take it that way. Yeah. And then I read text one time when he was texting her, about like, I feel like talking to my stepdad and my mom, I feel like y'all against me doing all the war strategy against me. He texting that. I ain't never text my mom nothing reckless except for you can't be loyal to me and him. That's the only thing I'm saying. You can't be loyal to both of us. It went too far. And that's for the black community too. You can't be loyal to him and me. No, you can't. It ain't gonna work. And you're a clown trying to pick sides and teams, and that's clowns, bro. My mom's stuck between two sons. I understand, but I gotta bow out gracefully when somebody calls me this much problems. I can't be associated with somebody that's talking to that person. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, he done put my cousin in prison for 12 years. That's the punchline. My brother is the reason. He told me and my mom to our face. He went to the police and put my cousin in prison. He told us he did it. Messed up his whole life. You can't come back from that, bro. You put your cousin in prison for 12 years. He's still in there right now because of him. He was on parole. He was doing good. He was on parole. You know how dudes get out on parole? He had already done like 12 years the first time. For robbery, shooting people, everything. My cousin used to rob people and shoot people when he robbed them. So he'll rob them and then shoot them. Shoot them and move off and shoot them. Right? He crippled somebody and put them in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. So that's when he got out the first time. And that same cousin, me and him did felonies together. He said, I'm crazy. He shot somebody, put him in a wheelchair, everything for the rest of their life. So my cousin get out after 12 years. I make him straighten his face because he stole some crack cocaine from me back in the day when I was selling crack. My last bit of crack I had, he stole it from me. So that was the rift between me and him. I was like, yo, he got to straighten his face about stealing crack from me. So my brother relayed that message to him. So that's how he came out from prison hearing from me. Like, yo, you stole crack from me back in the day. That's real. He was a bona fide thief, man. He stole from everybody. And my brother knew this. He stole a gun from my brother. And my brother already knew he stole crack from me because he relayed a message to my cousin about him stealing crack from me. So he already knew that. He already knew this was a bona fide thief, bro. So when that happened, he should have knew, okay, he stole from my brother, he stole from me. I'm gonna just wash my hands and leave him alone. That's what I'm gonna do. But he didn't do that. He went to the police. He went to the popo and told them that he stole his gun. My cousin violated his parole. He violated his parole and had to do the whole 12 years with no chance of parole. My brother put him in prison where he had to do all 12 years with no chance whatsoever under no circumstance. This is North Carolina, remind you, this is North Carolina court system. No chance of parole. That's my brother's life. All he did to my mom, and remind you, she had to get a restraining order to get him out the house. She called the police and he wouldn't leave. That kind of situation, what you do with women, what black men do with women. Because they like to call the police and try to win an argument or a situation. We ain't gonna leave. But you don't do that with your mother. If your mother tell you to leave, man, I don't care if you gotta be homeless. You have more dignity than that. You leave. You say no more. My mom tell me to leave, say no more, I'm out, man. I'm out. He stayed after that, and she told me he was eating up the food, putting food everywhere. Yeah, that kind of stuff. She said they was barely eating. They wasn't even eating like they was prisoners in their own home. This is the word she told me. She said they was barely eating, like they was that stressed out. Like from being stressed out. Yeah, man. So, man, that's why I have no compassion for this situation, bro. He put my cousin in prison for 12 years. My cousin is still in prison because he had to do 3 more years because he stole off on one of the deputies when he got sentenced. You know what I'm saying? Out of frustration, he just stole off on him. You know what I'm saying? And they gave him about 3 more years. But he's supposed to be getting out like next year or 2028, something like that. And if he ain't got no other charges or nothing else, I don't know. But I done wrote him since I've been here, even here in Brooklyn. I done wrote him in prison. I'm the only one that wrote him. See, I always stayed down, you know what I'm saying? When he went to prison, I wrote him the first time, and I wrote him this time too, And my brother ain't never wrote nobody in prison and stuff like that. That's what real dudes do. You know what I'm saying? I done wrote him since I've been here. That's why I'm telling y'all lame dudes, man, that go for these dudes back at Utica or Bash and Market or whatever. Man, listen, I write people in prison that done real crimes, bro. Don't ever play with me, bro. Don't ever put your mouth on me. Don't ever put your mouth on me, man. You understand me? You listen, you work at a grocery store. Stick to the apples and the pickles. Okay? Stick to the apples and the pickles, man. That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to be hard these days. Everybody want to be street niggas these days. They don't do what street niggas do, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met a street nigga that ain't never wrote nobody in prison, ever. If you in America, I ain't never met nobody like that. Everybody done met that's a street person, or you just somehow, you gonna write somebody in prison. Somebody gonna be sitting back reading a letter from you in prison. You know what I'm saying? So I'm one of them type of people, man. You know what I'm saying? So man, come on, bro. That's 22 years ago, the first time I wrote somebody in prison. 22 years ago, man. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? That same person. Me and him did felonies together when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? We broke in the house, stole guns. You know what I'm saying? Real things, man. You know what I'm saying? And he hit the same house once again. And I'm the one that held the rifles. He had these huge rifles. I held like 2 or 3 of them. He had about 3 of them. I did that as a Christian. I was a Christian. That's why I was still kind of caught up, like, in the streets. Because my cousin was doing felonies, and he like, yo, like, I need you to hold these guns, man. Guns. You know what I'm saying? How can you think I'm petty when my crimes involved guns? That's what I'm trying to show you. That's what I'm trying to tell these lames that Utica best market, bro. Listen, man, stick to the apples and the pickles, man. Stick to the apples and the pickles. stick to the apples and the pickles, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because a person like me, I think like I could come back up there and get you if I wanted to. I'm just saying. I'm just being 100 with you, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't play with people out here in the streets. I know where you at, and you don't know where I'm at. And what would you actually do? You can't do nothing. You got to be a worker, which means you got to be vulnerable to me, and I can take full advantage of you being vulnerable to me. Okay, you might have a little dude outside, but what is done is done. He ain't gonna stop what's done to you. Man, don't play with me, bro. Don't put your mouth, don't play in no politics with me at all, man. You understand me, man? I've been with criminals, man, that shoot people and put them in wheelchairs. This dude, I told you, my cousin, he shot somebody and put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. You understand? Doing robberies, going and doing licks, doing real licks, going into and robbing stores and stuff, man. That's what this dude was doing. Me and him did felonies together. He said he come out of prison and say, man, you crazy. You crazy. That's what, see, you don't, the truth is, you don't know because I left all of the street stuff behind. That's why you don't know, bro. That's why you don't see no more history. Because I became a Christian. But I'm still dangerous. And I don't mind being dangerous, and it ain't a crime to be dangerous. I'm gonna always be dangerous. Because it commands respect, that's why. If you walk around here and be a nice guy, look what it leads to. Look what they thought about me. They thought I was just some nice little guy to play with. Little you know, man, I got bona fide felons saying I'm crazy. I got a death row inmate that say I'm cold-hearted. You ain't never had no death row inmate say you cold-hearted, man. You don't want to see me, bro. You don't want to see me. The only reason I ain't lashed out at these little lames, even in this building, the only reason I ain't gave you nothing, buddy, let me tell you why, man, because I'm not trying to go to prison. That's why. And if you were smart, you would know anybody that would do it to you, that's the only hesitation. That's the reason why nothing ain't done to you. I'm dead serious, man. I already see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't going to prison, though. I'm not going to prison for these lame niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's that. That's that. I ain't losing my freedom for no lame niggas. Nobodies. Bums. Working bums. Bums that work. Think I'm stupid. You a bum that work. That's all. Think I'm stupid. Like I'm a little nigga, man. You a bum that work. That's all you are to me. A working bum. Niggas think they get a job and they ain't a bum. Depending on who you talk to, like I like to say. Depending on who you talk to. You a bum to me. In these politics and everything and playing around people, you a bum. You might as well be. Let me tell you something, man. I got bona fide criminals, man, that know I don't play any games. Only reason you don't see it because I don't live in the street life no more. That's the only reason. That's the only reason you have a little bit of doubt about me. That's the only reason. Okay? I became a good man. I became a man of God, but I refined my weapons, my idea of weapons, or carrying weapons. Well, I still feel the need to do it. You know, I'm just not quick to hurt somebody like I might have would have been in the past. I was a little more quicker to do it. Not realizing I could throw my whole life away. When you're young, you don't realize that. You grow up, you go through the system. See, there, like I explained, there's two types of people that understand how easy it is to do a crime. Those who go through the prison system and those who go through the system. Those who go through the system don't go to prison, but you go through probation, community service, and you are on probation. You have a probation officer. I've had a probation officer. Do you know that about me? Okay. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just letting you know what type of dude I am. I done had a probation officer more than one time. Okay? So you realize how hard it is to get a crime off your record. So it's two types of dudes that understand how hard easy it is to get a crime on your record and how hard it is to get out of crime. One crime, right? A dude that's been in prison or a dude that's been through the system. That's two different dudes. If you one of them dudes, you ain't gonna be quick to do no crime. But you can check with NYPD if you want to know who I am. Because they gonna show you weapon charge, weapon charge, weapon charge. But I'm glad to say I haven't been locked up in quite some time. But you go ask NYPD if you think I'm playing. Go ask them. Go ask them what charges they got on me. That's for the feds. That's for the white people. That's for white America. Go ask them what charges I got. If you think I'm playing with you. If you think I'm somebody to play with. That's all I'm saying. I use police for vouchers. I use the things that got me locked up for vouchers. The streets gonna be biased and they gonna try to act like you fake when they know you real. You ain't caught on to that yet. You ain't caught on to that yet. When people know you real, but they don't want nobody else to think that. Like we in high school, when you trying to get all the girls and you wanna stop the competition. You wanna make him look like he ain't real. Man, people know you real, man. They can see that. You know what I'm saying? But they just wanna downgrade you, you know what I'm saying, to look better for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They know you real, man. Come on. It ain't hard to see, bruh. It ain't hard to see, man. And to be honest with you, man, it's really quite common to be a killer, a gangster, or a real nigga. It's quite common, really. It's very common. Go to the prison system and see how common it is for you to see real niggas. Take a tour to the prison system. Millions of real niggas. It's common. To stay out of prison is a whole different animal, and still get done what you need to get done. But you can go to the prison system and see a million real niggas all day. It's common. It's uncommon to a lame nigga. You know what I'm saying? Go to the prison system. It's a million real niggas there. That's why it is a whole way of life. It's rules and regulations. And if you don't know them, you shouldn't have been out here. That's how we feel. That's how you know it's a common thing, because it's a whole way of life, bro. It wouldn't be a whole way of life if it was so uncommon. That part, man. You know, it's just lame niggas that think it's so uncommon because you never done nothing in your life and you just worship these street niggas. I don't worship these street niggas. They just players. Players in the game. Straight like that. Trying to hustle, trying to come up. Basically. That's all. Ain't nothing else to it, really. It's dudes in poverty, if anything else. If not anything else. I mean, it's just common, bruh. Like poverty. It's common like poverty. Thugs and criminals is as common as poverty is. Because that's what makes it happen. That's what makes bona fide criminals is poverty. Let's not forget that. So, a thug or a criminal is just as common as poverty. Because that's what makes the thugs and criminals. The real ones, the bona fide ones. So man, look, man. Don't get mad at me when you come out here and play in the field, you know what I'm saying, and you play yourself and you try to make me a scapegoat. I'm sorry to tell you, that ain't gonna happen. I'm too sharp for that. I'm too strong for that. You gotta listen. In the real world, I know you got training wheels on your bike, don't you? But in the real world, you gotta take them training wheels off, buddy. And if you make mistakes, sometimes you can't come back from it. It's just like being in prison. If you make mistakes in prison, bro, you good as dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you are. And in this situation, you good as dead. I don't care what the police or anybody else say, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You shouldn't have came out here, man. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. You shouldn't have came out here. God gonna make you pay for it. You know, it ain't nobody, you ain't got nowhere to hide. You ain't got nowhere to go. You thought it was me that was running. It's gonna be you. You ain't got nowhere to go. God gonna get every last one of these secret society people. You should have stayed, listen, you should have stayed a secret society. You should have stayed in secret. You should have stayed your little tail in secret. If you was a secret society, you should have stayed in secret, sucker. But you couldn't resist trying to be out here in the community. That's what it was. You wanted to come out here and feel the power. You wanted to come out here and feel the reputation and respect that comes with the streets. And you played yourself. And keep in mind, listen, buddy, you won't be the first or the last to play yourself in these streets. Okay? It happens all the time. And that's why we own it like that. It's people that's real dudes, realer than you, that's dead. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you can't die. We can show you a million niggas harder than you, realer than you, and dead. And you gonna live. Nah, you're not. You're not gonna live, man. It's God, because God is, that will make it so bad. How the streets is looking at it is God is involved. You done got God involved. That's the worst thing you could have done, man. You so stupid, man. You so stupid. Worst thing you could have done in the streets, in the jungle, is get God involved with your situation. Boy, you ain't gonna be able to get nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere in life. You ain't gonna get nowhere in life, I promise you. Ain't nobody can vouch for that. See, that's the difference between black people and these Maryland Mansion white folks that think you so hard and tough and whatever. You gonna come over here and get folded, bro. Cause the truth is, black people have always been involved in evil. We always been evil. We just didn't celebrate it like these white people. That was the difference. But if you talk about real evil, we always been evil. We just didn't celebrate it like these little suburban people without respect on the streets, and so you just use evil for credibility. That's all you're doing. You think I'm stupid? You're just using credibility, evil for credibility. When I work witchcraft, you just using that for credibility, like a sucker. That's why you played yourself like a sucker, trying to use witchcraft and evil for credibility in the streets. And we don't respect it? No, we don't. It's two different animals from the street life. And like I said, most black people been evil. You want to see evil, buddy? Listen, go through the streets. You see all type of evil at any given time. And not just shooting people, all type of evil, buddy. You'll see it all any given time. See, the difference between you and I, we didn't celebrate evil like you white Americans. You've been doing that since rock and roll, like Ozzy Osbourne and all of that, and Marilyn Manson. You've been celebrating evil for a long time, but the truth is, you wasn't really evil. You know what I'm saying? All you was witchcraft. That's all you really was. I mean, but you never really had the balls. Once we got up out of slavery, you never really had the balls to confront us as evil people would. You never was like that, you know. During slavery, okay, you know, when you had the upper hand, but after slavery, you ain't never try us, really. I mean, okay, brutality, but behind a badge, not as a regular everyday white man. You gonna behind that badge or behind the government doing that kind of stuff, but you ain't gonna come out here in the streets. White people you ain't gonna take that badge off and come out here. No, you're not, and that's where I win. That's where we win. A lot of people. You ain't gonna come out here with that. You're gonna hide behind badges like white boys do. You're gonna hide behind a badge and a gun like a white boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't gonna come out here and take the badge off and come out here in these streets. You ain't built like that, buddy. And no badge ain't gonna make you be built like that. A gun ain't gonna make you be built like that. I know that you hiding behind the badge. I know you hiding behind the government. I know you hiding behind your military or your authorities of America. You ain't gonna come out here in the jungle and take and move all of the and come out here and be mano a mano about it. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. That's all I'm saying. White boy. White boy. You think you're so evil. We can show you what evil is. I can show you what evil is, buddy. Nancy, that's evil. Nancy being lost for how long? How long Nancy been lost? How long Nancy been lost? How long Nancy been lost? Nancy, how long Nancy been lost, bruh? 27 days, ain't it? 27 days. 27 days. She been lost all month, haven't she? She ain't enjoy her February, did she? She been lost all February, ain't she? All winter long, she been lost at the end of the winter. That's the worst time. She been lost in the depths of winter. Sound like a book, don't it? She was lost in the depths of winter. Listen, buddy, for you witchcraft people, that's evil, buddy. You hear me, you little bastards? That's what evil is. Taking whizzing away an 84-year-old woman into the winter, in the depths of the winter. That's evil. That's my point. I don't care about no hocus pocus little. That's an attitude. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about you, the little spells and Harry Potter. Man, listen, man. I done been around real killers. You understand me? Black magic will never be evil to me. It's not gonna happen. You can go to them other black folks and maybe they get spooked off of it. I come from Charlotte where they do hoodoo and we grew up talking about roots and putting roots on people. I grew up hearing about that. Now imagine me growing up and be scared of witchcraft. That's some white boy stuff, man. We ain't scared of that, man. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. You know what? You know what's scary, bro? Losing your mother, and she 84 years old, and she can't even walk. They say she couldn't even walk. We keep forgetting that part. She was one of them type of older people. She couldn't even walk around, man. That's evil, buddy. Just the next time you think with some little Ozzy Osbourne little punk persona that you're evil, I want you to think about Nancy. That's evil, buddy. And that go for the rest of you little witchcraft little bastards. Thinking you evil because you do witchcraft or whatever. I don't care nothing about that. That's what I'm saying. That's what a real nigga gonna tell you. I don't care nothing about no witchcraft, buddy. Nancy that's evil. By everybody's standard. That old woman, 84 years old, out there somewhere, that's evil, buddy. When your family barely hoping you can live at least another 10 more years, because you 84, you can't really live too much longer. So your family just hanging on at that point. Trying to cherish and savor every year, knowing you getting up in age. And for somebody to just snatch them away like that, that's evil, buddy. You little bastard. Think you evil, why? Because you got an attitude? I don't care about your attitude. Witchcraft is an attitude. I don't care nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? That's just coming from me, man. Like, I just take care of my business. I don't care nothing about you, who you are in witchcraft. I don't care nothing about that. You see what I'm saying? That's not evil to me. That's almost like a female, I wish bad on this, I wish that's like a female. Yeah, you can find a female almost act like a witch. Especially in our community. That part. Ask a man, a black man. Is he scared of witchcraft? Hey, ask a black man that done dated these black women. Are you scared of witchcraft? Man, these black women be acting like they witches. Especially when you got problems with them. That's when you see the witch come out, don't you? You don't even know if she working witchcraft. We probably done thought about it. Yeah, I don't feel right. But after I ate that food, you think ain't something happened to you. Mess with this woman. That's all I'm saying, bro. See, you gotta remember the white boy over there in the suburbs, he gotta act evil to get reputation. He ain't gonna get no reputation in them weak old neighborhoods over there. So what the white boy gonna do? Oh, he gonna join a cult or do some witchcraft stuff to install fear into the community, to get some type of to make people feel he's a tough guy. He's gonna join a witchcraft cult or do, you know what I'm saying? That's what a little white girl gonna do. She ain't gonna get down with no team, and you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, which is the real evil. That's the real evil right there, buddy. The evil that you're scared of. Even if working witchcraft, I guarantee you scared of these real neighborhoods, ain't you? Yeah, that part. Yeah, you who work witchcraft, you scared of these hard neighborhoods, ain't you? All these white boys and white girls, you scared of these hard neighborhoods. You ain't gonna go over there. You ain't gonna try nobody over there. No, all the witchcraft you talking about, you ain't gonna go over there and try nobody. Man, listen, I check people up and down Utica Avenue. Go ask about me. Yeah, just in case you think I'm talking loud in this building, yo, I done check people right up and down Utica Avenue. The streets out there, black dudes like, yo, I check somebody. I done got respect out there in the street, dudes like, yo, like that. Check yourself, buddy. Listen, you must have thought I was subject to this building. Like, listen, bro, you know, man, listen, I'm a black man. You can't hold me down, buddy. I'm doing stuff that you don't know about like a real black man. I'm doing stuff you ain't know about. Like checking these people on Utica Avenue. Oh yeah, go ask. I almost checked somebody last night. Reaching over me in front of the line without saying excuse me is disrespectful. You know somebody in the line, okay, well, excuse me. While you reach over me. Don't reach over me and you ain't saying excuse me. I told him, I said, yeah, man, why don't you say excuse me? He ain't say nothing. He wasn't gonna say nothing. Ain't nothing you can say. I'm right. And then you wonder why people don't respect you. And they treat you like boys because you don't walk around like a man. If I reach over somebody in the line, I'm saying, excuse me. I'm saying, excuse me. See, it's a double-edged sword. People that are dangerous do show respect too. Because I'm a demand mine. And I don't demand something I don't do myself. You see what I'm saying? I don't demand respect and I don't give it out myself now. That ain't gonna work. That's the foundation for why we gonna do it. It's a disclaimer. It's covering your own butt, man. You can't say, oh, you want people to respect you, but you ain't out here respecting nobody. Come on now. Come on. People can't say I don't respect people, bro. I'm dead serious. People can't say I don't respect people. You can't say, when? When can you say I disrespected somebody? When? And they ain't deserve it. If I violate you, you deserve it, bro. Like I said, I done check people out here in Utica, just in case, this for the building right here, this building. Let me tell you something, bro. I done check people out here in this neighborhood, and we know you gay and you ain't gonna do it. I know half these dudes in this building is gay. Okay? So don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me. I go out here in this real world, outside this building, outside this block, and I check dudes out there that could have any kind of weapons and could have anybody with them. And I'm not afraid of that. Okay? I check people in the real world, just in case you think I'm subject to or limited to this building. I go right out here in your neighborhood, right out here where you think I'm supposed to be scared of. Man, I done check people out here on Utica, bro. And they know it, the streets know it. They seen it. Okay, so if you think I'm just in here and I'm talking about these little gay dudes in here, how I feel about you, you shouldn't even be playing with nobody like me. Let alone me talking about you. You shouldn't even be playing with nobody like me. That's how I see it. So, but you trying to do it for a gay brand, ain't you? You trying to do it for the gay brand. You a clown, bro. Trying to do stuff for gay brand reasons. Like you doing it for gay. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to hear that, bro. You a lame, you a sucker. And it ain't cause you gay, it's cause you don't got no rules and regulations. It ain't cause you gay. You can't try me like that where I'ma just feel like you a sucker cause you gay. Nah, you a sucker cause you be talking about people and playing in people's politics. And it's too dangerous. It's 2026. So you ain't gonna ever equate and tweet stuff where you look real to me in my situation. You ain't gonna know. You already been talking. You a lame. You be already put your mouth on me. You a sucker, and you can't come back from it with somebody like me. So you can't critique it in any kind of way. See, what a sucker gonna do is try to, once he realize you realer than him and he done made mistakes, right? He gonna try to critique it to where he look kind of decent and look good in the situation. You ain't gonna be able to do that with me, sucker, because I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind you of who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, you listen. Like they say, you don't have a second time to make a first impression. The first impression you make, you dirty, leaving stuff everywhere. I don't care who you are. I don't care nothing about you. You a dirty animal. You leave tissue on the floor. You leave trash everywhere. All in this floor. I don't respect nobody on this floor. No. Man, trash everywhere. So you supposed to be a real one with trash everywhere? A real man ain't gonna have no trash everywhere. Show me a real man gonna have trash everywhere. We got self-respect, bro. Like dudes in the military. You ain't gonna see me leave trash everywhere and everything like that if I can help it. You know, if it's a little bit debris or something, okay. But just obvious stuff, man, come on, bro. Come on. I don't respect people like you. If you dirty, nasty, you leave stuff all around, what that's supposed to be, ghetto? You supposed to get points for being ghetto? How else I supposed to look at it? I don't respect people like you. I clean up behind myself. I don't care what you listen. Ghetto people clean up behind themselves. They can't leave stuff. Your mom ain't gonna let you leave nothing dirty. What that tell you about these people? You can't even say you ghetto. No, your mama, ain't nobody gonna let you leave stuff blatantly around on the ground and on the floor around in a ghetto neighborhood, in a ghetto house. No, you won't hear the last of it. Look at you like you crazy. Like something wrong with you, like you special needs or something. So I don't know what kind of person you think that's supposed. Oh, evil. You evil because you leave stuff around. That's a clown. Don't you see? That's a clown all day. Dang. That's all I'm saying, bruh. Yeah. Sitting around halfway dirty. I don't even need to see your face. If I see you leave dirt and everything around and you ain't got no, you can't be real. To me, how? Man, no. That's a dirty butt. That's what we call them. In Charlotte, dirty butts. You a dirty butt. I don't. Ain't no way. I don't care what you do out there. Once I form my opinion of you, I look around here and I see trash and all kind of stuff, debris everywhere. I don't care nothing about you talking about you being real or anything you talking about me. Even if you put your mouth on me, I don't have no respect for your opinion of me, buddy. Dirty as you are. You ain't gonna never see my dirt excessively. Excessively, no. I'm human, but when you see some excessive dirt on, no. I see excessive stuff out there. Now imagine me esteeming them as real niggas. Bums, bro. I told you. It's some stuff you can't make up. Ain't no real nigga gonna be doing that. I'm not saying he gonna clean have this thing spick and span, but you ain't gonna see no significant paper trail of debris everywhere from a real nigga. No. Every time you turn around, you see stuff everywhere, everything. No, you ain't gonna see no real nigga do that. You're not gonna see it. So it's some things you just, you telling yourself, I don't need to know who you are. Half this building is dirty and nasty. That's all I know. That's that. And for the staff, they ain't professional, so you ain't no real nigga to me. You ain't professional at all, man. Listen, man. They ain't fixed that microwave. That microwave ain't been fixed. You listen, you cannot be esteemed as a real nigga to me. Straight like that. And I don't need to know nothing else. I don't need to see nothing else. See, that's just how it is. If you was in prison, and you was staff, and you was dealing with number of inmates, and you ain't fixed the microwave, they ain't gonna have no respect for you. Take that to prison and see what happened. Man, they ain't gonna show you no love until that microwave fixed. They ain't gonna show you no love, nigga. And you ain't got nothing to do, and you getting a paycheck. They gonna act like you one of them people. We gonna almost sound like white people. You around here entitled with getting a paycheck. You sitting up here getting a paycheck for nothing. You working and getting a paycheck. You here getting a paycheck and ain't working. That's how white people talk about us. Sitting on the job getting a paycheck and ain't doing that. So you thought I was a little nigga. I talk like a real man. I chastise niggas. Sitting up here working on the job, getting a paycheck. Sitting up here getting just here for a paycheck. Some people there to work, some people there for a paycheck. It's a big difference. You just there for a paycheck, bro. You don't care nothing about what's going on. Nothing. So then imagine me smiling in your face or esteeming you as anything. That's why Americans hate each other. That's why we hate each other. I mean, and my thing is, with the microwave, you ain't got to do nothing. It ain't even, all you got to do is make an email. That's retarded. You know what I'm saying? That's retarded, bro. All you got to do is make an email, bro. I don't respect them, no. I do not respect you. I do not esteem you as my equal. No, I do not. I would have been had that. Man, I would have had that within the first month. Here we are 3 months later. No, hold on, December, January, yeah, here we are 3 months later, bro. Man, I would have been had that worked out. I would have been had a microwave fixed. 3 months later, they ain't done nothing. Man, listen, bro. I don't give no respect for that. And if it's done on purpose, it's weak. It ain't do nothing to me. I'm smart enough to know niggas do stuff on purpose, and it ain't gonna do nothing to me. All it's gonna do is show other people in other communities how disgusting you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't respect. I give respect where respect is due. I don't hand out respect like cupcakes to people. You know what I'm saying? I don't hand out respect like Girl Scout cookies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta earn respect in this world, buddy. You don't get it like no paycheck sitting on your butt, doing nothing. See, you should have knew, me being from North Carolina, I was raised properly, buddy. I'm that. You know what pedigree is? Pedigree is really when you raised properly. Because if you ain't raised properly, you most likely ain't gonna raise to no level of significant pedigree out here in these streets. You ain't gonna be nothing. Even in the streets, you ain't gonna be nothing. If you ain't raised right, think about it. How you gonna be something in the streets and you wasn't raised right? You're gonna be reckless in the streets. That's what you're gonna be. You're gonna be ratchet in the streets. That's what you're gonna be, buddy. You're gonna be ratchet. You're gonna be ratchet, ain't you? You're gonna be ranch dressing, ratchet dressing, ain't you? You ratchet dressing, ain't you? Ranch dressing, ratchet dressing, you ratchet dressing, ain't you? We ain't gonna say ratchet, we just ratchet dressing, ain't you? Can't be serious. You ratchet dressing, bruh. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm from North Carolina. You know you ain't gonna fade no North Carolina. You should have knew that. You listen to them white boys. You listen. If you black, you know darn well they ain't finna fade no North Carolina like that. I come back from the grave on these suckers. You know darn well you ain't finna fade North Carolina like that. You should be proud. You should be if you're really black. It don't matter. You already know how I feel and why I feel the way I feel. You should be proud North Carolina ain't gonna get faded like that, buddy. Out here talking about pedophiles but couldn't find nothing on me. Out here talking about pedophiles but they marrying children. That part. Can't be serious. You should have knew they wasn't gonna fade no North Carolina like that, buddy. I don't care who they with. I don't care who they with. We the root. We the roots. We the roots of all this stuff. The mothership is the Carolinas. These white people don't esteem it, don't know it to esteem it. They think they know black people. They don't know stuff we reverence. Like Southern people. Do these white people reverence Southern black people? Oh no, hold up. Did you hear that? Do they reverence Southern black people? No. No, they don't. They don't reverence that. They don't know it to reverence it. They don't know what we about. They don't know who's the best. The best is the South. How y'all the best? All the family come from the South. Make it make sense, bro. All the folk come from the South. Everything y'all stand for come from the South. The food, where the food come from? New York, that's New York food. That ain't New York food. That's Southern, that's a chef would call that Southern cuisine. What you call black food or soul food, no, it's Southern food where I come from. You eat my food. We don't eat your food. We might eat the pizza every once in a while. That's about what we eat from New York. No, we should have been saying this from the South. Y'all eat my food. What you call soul food is, listen, a chef, a 5-star chef is going to call it Southern cuisine. And he might say African American Southern cuisine, if you want to be a little more technical. He's going to call it at least Southern cuisine, buddy. That ain't got nothing to do with New York, buddy. You eat my food. So how you above me and we ain't the root and you eat my food, what I grew up on. I grew up on all that stuff you eat. That was everyday food. You can't imagine that, can you? Yeah, we ate good, buddy. The stuff you eat on Thanksgiving and the holidays and all of that, we eat. That's an everyday food, man. And it tastes just like the holidays. The food just as good as the holidays. That's why black people ain't gonna say nothing, because you know I'm right. Now white folks, you don't know that black is the Southern black is king. We king. They not king. New York ain't king. Southern black people are king. That's if you want to find the most best black people, where you gonna go? New York? To find the best black people. Come on, stop playing with me, bro. You gonna go down south, even if you're a woman, you looking for a good man, where you gonna go? You gonna go to New York? Or you gonna go down south? If you had your pick, if you could pick between a Southern man and a New York man, who you gonna choose? You gonna choose a Southern black man because he got more of a work ethic and how he raised. I guarantee you, you're gonna choose him. If he ain't slow and he ain't country stupid now. If he ain't country stupid and he ain't slow and he from the South, you gonna go with that. I guarantee you. I guarantee you're gonna go with that. If you're a woman, if you're a man, if you gonna go with a Southern woman too. She can cook, everything like that. That's the first thing you're gonna look at. She got good morals. She a good woman, gonna hold you down. You know, you gonna go with a Southern. You don't know these women up here lesbians and dykes. They don't know if they want to be with a man or a woman up here. You ain't noticed that about New York women? Ain't none of them straight. They want a little bit of both, don't they? You go down south, man, a woman don't want to touch another woman. Don't want to smell another woman. You ever met them kind of women? They look like they don't even want to smell another woman, buddy. Let alone being a lesbian. It look like women stank to them. You ever been around them kind of women? You can tell she don't want nothing but a man. And check this, they ain't a masculine looking woman. That's a feminine woman. She don't want nothing to do with no woman. She gonna tell you what can a woman do for her. See, you don't know no better. You used to these bisexual women up here in New York. All of them freaky. All of them want a woman and a man. You can't find. I wouldn't even want no woman from up here no more. Cause half of them gonna want a man and a woman. They ain't gonna tell you that right away as soon as you meet them. Sometimes they will. But in most cases, who you esteem to be straight, man, listen, bro, you in the right scenario situation, if they could get away with it and nobody would know about it, because some black women are ashamed of it, right? But if they could get away with it and nobody would find out, man, they'll do a little something with women. They just don't want the backlash that comes with it. That's in the black culture now. Most of these black women to do something, they just don't want their family to know or to be stigmatized as a lesbian. How you think I know that? Because I study black women. I study women, period. You know what I'm saying? I study their psychology. You know what I'm saying? And most of them, from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying, if they could be with a woman and get away with it culturally, and nobody wouldn't stigmatize them, black women will be doing a little something. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you what I know. So I can't imagine a dude get with a woman and then she all you want. That's why she don't want you. You know why she don't want you? Because she confused. You know why she ain't trying to get back with you? Is she from New York? Because she don't want a man that bad. She want a man, but not that bad. And you know why she like that? Because she kind of confused in what she want. Or what she got, or what she had. She kind of confused. See what I learned, a hack, this is a hack for you to understand. If a woman really want just a man, she gonna have a man. I don't care what you're talking about, I don't care about the circumstance, I don't care about nothing. If she really want a man, sexually speaking, she gonna have one. Especially a woman. Women get mostly what they want. Now, if she confused in her sexuality, even 3%, that's gonna make a difference in her sex drive towards men. She's at home, she's away from men, because she halfway like women too. Now put it together. You ain't gonna be pursuing men if you kind of like women too. You gonna kind of sit back a little bit. You feel me? And let whatever come to you, come to you. But if you 100% want men to penetrate your vagina, you gonna find somebody to do it. You know, you ain't gonna go. You know, you gonna go have a certain classy way about going about it, but you gonna basically get it done. You know what I'm saying? So if you find a woman that ain't with no man, more times than not, it's a sign. It's a sign. I'm telling you, it's a sign that she, maybe 3-4%, she might want a woman. And it's that 3-4% why she ain't out here looking for no man. That's what it is. Cause you're a human being, right? Your libido, I'm just being honest, your libido gonna lead you out there. If you really are heterosexual as a woman. So if you not and you confused a little bit, me understanding psychology, that's why you ain't out there. Because if you was 100% want a man to penetrate you and you had strong libido for men only, you'll be out there, bro. Finding you a man, getting married and all of that. You know, but if you sitting back, that's because you confused in your sexuality. You see how that works? That's how smart I am. If you see people sitting back and they ain't no Christian like I am, and that ain't what it is, that's a confused person. That's why they like that. See, I could have been a psychologist. My mom told me I could have been a psychologist. That's why my strong suit is psychology. If you think you're gonna play with my psychology, buddy, you must be smoking crack. I understand psychology way too well, way too naturally for you to play with me. So, like I said, you can't even find some of these straight women. You can't find hardly straight women. Half of them dykes, man, I'm telling you. And my thing is this. You listen, that's between you and God. Just don't pull me into it. Don't have me under the impression that you a straight woman, but you halfway like women too. It's not fair to the man. Think about it. And then he got to worry about you liking women or competing with women and all of that every time he turn around. And that's what a lot of men are going through right now. Don't even know. You competing with other women and ain't no way in the world you a man. I don't care how good you look. You can't compete with no woman, buddy. If she want a woman, it's over. You can't compete with that, buddy. No, it's a whole different animal, no pun intended. You ain't no woman. You can't compete with no woman. And if he's gay, if you a woman, you can't compete with no man. Ain't no way in the world. You can be beautiful. It happens all the time, and they still gonna want a man. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not fair to a person to pull them into the situation, knowing you halfway gay. Knowing you halfway gay. You know what I'm saying? See, people like that have bad karma. That's how I feel. Because if you just kept it 100 and just say you can't see yourself with just a man by all your whole life without being with a woman, and that you kind of curious about being with a woman, if you keep it 100, then people can go about their business. That's all it is, man. You just keep you know you're not being true to yourself. I'm not saying go do that, but people have more respect if you just if you stick to what you say you are. If you say you heterosexual, then it's relationally speaking. This is where you get the respect. Relationally, if you are a heterosexual, or you claim to be, then it should be no contradictions in that relationship. Now, after the relationship, I can't judge you. You know what I'm saying? That's between you and God. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't be cheating in no form or fashion. And some people think it's harmless if it's the same sex, like it ain't a threat. How it's not a threat? And that person is with your person that you with. How that's not a threat, bro? That's always gonna be a threat to your to monogamy. It's a threat to monogamy. So anyway, man. These are the reasons why you're out here. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I have success because of all of this. Because I weathered all of this. That's part of my portfolio, my numbers, like I was talking about. Them numbers. This is part of my numbers. I weathered all of this foolishness from these people that you call Americans. No matter what color they may be, different creeds and everything, different walks of life, criminals and police, all the same, all against me. You know what I'm saying? And I weathered all of that. So can you imagine, these black folks coming and playing with me, but you wouldn't face the people that I faced. You won't face the people that I've been through. You won't face this white man. You ain't gonna face this white man. I faced him and I won.